You're listening to M.T.V.B. Podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast, the podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects, that's movies,
TV,
video games,
and board games.
I'm your host, Anthony, as well as most people know me as the Antman, and welcome to this week's episode, where we're going to be talking a part 2 this episode. It's going to be a TV episode talking about our favourite kids' TV theme songs of all time. And I'm joined around the table by the guys that love to talk about kids' TV theme songs. Introduce yourselves around the table, please.
Hi, I'm Chris Heisenbyrne, and I'm looking forward to getting to the new series.
Welcome, mate.
Me, Supa Mario.
Whee! And our guest this week.
Back by unpopular demand, it's Stu from Legends of Podcasting.
Yeah. All right.
And this is my fault because I did message you being like, you missed some guys, we need to do another one.
He's been messaging me for how many seasons back? And you're like, do the episode already.
I've called you out. You say, if you're not on it, text me and we'll fix it.
And we actually done it. We thought, sod it, let's put it on the YouTube episode anyway.
I'm hoping this isn't going to be part of another part 2.
As well.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not going to be another part of a part 2. You know, the ones of hated sequels.
Oh, yes. We have to do that. We totally have to do that.
But we don't want to see this appearing in that. That's the problem.
This is it. We're going to go around the table and start with Heisenbyrne.
Ooh.
Sir, how was the list for you in this one?
It was hard. Well, I've had the main few for forever. And then there's a couple when I said, are we going full live, any whole barred for anything I enjoyed as a kid? And you were like, yes. And I was like, oh, fuck. That kind of throws a spanner in. And
makes the list even bigger now.
And I thought about plagiarising someone else we know.
Do 2 lists.
2 lists.
Ooh.
But yeah,
just the one.
Just the one, but it was enjoyable, and I'm kind of hoping that there's a few fillers in here.
Nice. I imagine the honourable mentions are like...
Oh, yeah, they're just as good. We can do a whole episode on honourable mentions.
Fair enough then, mate. Mario.
Hey! It's me, Mario.
So how was the list for you, sir?
So the list was pretty good. I had to re-listen to the series because I didn't want to kind of go back.
Clash for me.
That's no, I like that one, but no, and that one, and all the honourable mentions. I was like, tried to keep off the honourable mentions, but I was like, no, fuck it, it's my list. So there might be a couple on there. If you listen to the last episode, you're probably not going to be surprised by a couple on this list. But yeah, and there's quite a few honourable mentions. So I don't know if we're ever going to come back for a part 3, but
it could go on forever.
Yeah, it could.
So many.
You have to get even more guests for that one.
Every show from the 80s ever. What's your favourite theme? Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good for me.
It's just been dedicated to the 80s
dedicated
regardless.
to the 80s.
Nice. And then our guest of honour.
I like it. Dramatic.
Dramatic hero theme. Stuart, how was the list for you, sir?
It was good, mate. Yeah, I say when I listened to you guys do the part 1, it wasn't a part 1 to begin with, but the episode, I was like, oh man, you missed that one. I came up with a few straight away, and then when I started thinking about the subject of actually the theme song, I went down the rabbit hole of, if you guys seen like Inside Out?
Yes.
Yeah.
With like, when they the like long-term memory thing brings up that advert, they're like, oh god damn it.
It's a memory core.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've gone down the route of like, what's the theme songs that pop into my head still today? That like I'm just like randomly doing something and suddenly I'll be like, oh yeah, that cool theme tune. So that my top 5 is very associated with that keep just popping into my head. Random times and
good times.
Yeah, good times. Always good times.
Nice. So obviously, we're going to watch before we do a couple of questions before we do the top 5. But before we do that, Stuart, where can people find your podcast, listen, or subscribe to it?
Yes. So if you're watching your new YouTube channel, which I'm like really proud of you guys doing. So we've Legends Podcasting, self-promotion on my t-shirt. We've been we're on Legends Podcasting on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and we do podcasts. Not so much anymore, but that's where we started off as. We've been going like 6 years now. We started with Krypton was the first show we did, and we've done loads of the Arrowverse, Gotham, all the Star Wars stuff, Titans, Doom Patrol, like anything you can think of superhero related, we have tried to react to. Currently doing Penguin, and the last season of Superman and Lois is just about to start.
Oh,
so we're doing that
the last
as
season now.
Yeah. So the 4th season is going to be their last one, which we're very excited about. So yeah, come and check us out. Please subscribe, and love to hear you guys. Love to chat with the guys. Anyone who comments, there's a few of it regulars now, so it's good to catch up. Just basically 3 guys: me, Ross, Rob, and then Liam, who lives in the US, who does Superman and Lois with us. Just watch nerdy stuff and talk nerdy stuff all the time. It's great.
I mean, you've got like a VIP subscriber, Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Jeff Johns has watched our Stargate reactions. We met him at Comic Con.
Hopefully, he might watch this and be like that as well.
New York Comic Con last year, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, Leisure Podcast. I know you guys." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yeah, you guys are great." And we chatted to him, and Gary Frank was there as well as an artist. We messaged on Instagram quite regularly, and he's invited us to go over to LA.
Go to his house all the time.
Go to his house. So we're like, yes. So that's happening next year, hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it'd be good. I don't know if he'll appreciate us vlogging his house, but we'll see how we get away with it.
Come back with like the actual lantern or something as well. It'd be pretty cool. Okay, so let's go to the question. So, in your opinion, guys, what makes a good kids' TV theme song? Is it like the catchy music? Is it the flashing lights? Is it the animation? What is it for you that says, right, this is going in my top 5?
I think it comes down to like how hyped and kind of pumped it got me as a kid. Everything that my mum kind of didn't want me to be, like when something's about to kick off.
The E numbers of TV.
Or the amount of injuries, stubbed foot, banged knees, running from upstairs to downstairs because you've heard the theme music on. And
Yeah, because back in those days you couldn't just stream it.
You only have one and three.
chance.
Yeah.
You had a storage heater in the middle of your living room, didn't you? That was like 23 inches big.
Or that industrial fire.
Yeah.
Like the 1, 2, and 3.
That's
That burn everything. But yeah, so it's like how hyped it got me. And then just the emotion of like how much I enjoy these cartoons and programs that I enjoyed as a kid. You know, and there's stuff in here that I'd always watch them. And then there's a couple that I would love to do. So it's kind of like, so it's still to this day. And like, I still whack them on Spotify now and again.
Really?
Yeah, like all the time. Like, literally, I love them.
Playlist of just theme tunes.
Just theme tunes, yeah.
Nice.
It's just like Demolition Man, isn't it? Except in adverts, it's theme tunes.
Yeah, exactly,
Kids TV themes. Got that one? Yeah, I remember this one. It's great.
That's great. I guess mine are just catchy. As I said, I've gone for the list that keeps popping into my head. So obviously it's catchy and memorable. I've sort of worked out that most of them have a nice guitar lick in them, which maybe is why I play guitar now. Maybe that inspired me. I don't know. And I can't remember who did the first one. I think maybe it was Mario. That was like every theme tune explains what the show is going to be about.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that was you last time.
No, it wasn't me. I wasn't in the last one.
Howard.
Howard did that,
Yeah, but I think mine are very much similar to that as well. Like the theme tune sets up what the show is.
So it tells you the plot.
It tells you the characters, like everything. So it's like, right, got it.
It dumbs it down like an American serial, doesn't it? It's like, this is what happened in the last 10 episodes, now piece by piece.
Yeah.
Now we've got 20 minutes of the show left.
Yeah, well, here's the law in 30 seconds.
That's it.
And that's it. It gets you straight in, doesn't it? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So that's a lot of that.
I do think cartoons or programs missed a trick if they didn't have a good theme tune, because there's certain cartoons that I love, but it's more like like Dino Riders. Oh, they crushed land, and it's just a full narration, and then it hypes up. But then like if that just had a quality,
they don't make theme tunes like they used to.
No,
all the new ones.
No, because they want everybody calm and docile and just like.
I think recent ones I've watched literally just have the title pop up for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and that's it. It's like,
I love how you're like, they don't want kids to be all calm now. It's like have an epileptic fit for the show even starts.
Old-fashioned cutscenes and, like you said, that loud guitar riff in the beginning.
I'll say his baby survived.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So, was there any shows that you you just watched the intro for, not necessarily for the show itself? Is there? Would you rush for anything like, I'd watch that now. I'll go skip the channel and go to another one.
Cities of Gold. I'll watch
I
that.
forgot about that. Yeah.
The greatest intro of all time, but
The-
utter wank.
Yeah.
Utter wank. So it's like boom, boom. Same with Pokemon.
There was 3 of them.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Pokemon's brilliant, but I can't.
Good
stand-
thing Gal's not here to
Yeah,
back
no,
me
I
up.
can't.
There was 3 of them in that
It's not for
area,
me.
wasn't there? There was Cities of Gold.
Cities of
then
Gold.
there was what was the other one as well? Dogtanion.
Dog Tanya. I was about to say that.
And there was another one as well. It wasn't like was it a dog version of Around the World in 80
Willy
Days?
Fogg.
Willy.
Yes,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah,
There we
so
go.
so those ones are like,
Just watch it for the intro and
Just
just
the
intro,
skip
yeah.
it over.
Yeah,
Stuart,
There are a few that I don't want to. Well, there's definitely a few that the show isn't as good as the theme tune. I give you that much. I don't want to mention any just in case it's on anyone's lists or
no, go for
honorable
it.
mentions, but like there's definitely a few. Like I mean, although I love the theme tune, like, I know you guys mentioned it in the last one. Like so, Jason the Wheel Warriors.
Yep.
Love the theme tune.
As in Mike, that was a Mike.
No,
I know.
love
The show isn't that great. I tried to watch it.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
Right, that's it. Out you get.
Oh mate, I'm just saying. You watch it now, it's just like.
A lot of kids shows are like that
Yeah,
now.
I mean, I can watch a few of them. Like, it's a couple on my list that I would watch. I still watch today. I'm just like, yep, still holds up. It's great, but like, yeah, that theme tune was better than the show. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's fair.
That one was one that I could never remember what it was called.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And it was like
just remember the theme tune, right?
You remember the cars with the and like
The plants
the
and the-
plants,
yeah.
the
Plants
big
that turn into
chainsaws, and people
vehicles.
were looking at me like, "You're talking shit." You're like, "No."
Yeah, I remember that. So Sunday mornings on Channel 4,
Oh.
turning it on. There
Like
it was.
Sharky and George.
Sharky, that's
another
the
one.
one. Sharky and
Sharky
George.
and George.
That
Again,
great
that was
theme
one
tune.
that was
They were
like,
the crime busters of the sea.
They
Yeah.
were, but the show
And the
itself
bass,
was
the
whack
bass,
as shit.
the bass line in that. Oh,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Oh, I love it.
And the end credits was pretty good as well to
Yeah.
Yep.
that.
That should be another subject. End credits.
Yeah,
Top 5 end credits.
Top 5 end credits.
If you
Christ,
stayed,
I know what my
if you
number one
stayed
would
for
be,
them
that'd be
all.
I don't really have any other questions apart from that. If you guys do and want to throw them in, now's your chance. If not, we will go straight to the top 5s. Anyone?
Golden.
Let's do it.
Go.
It's time for a top 5.
So for anyone who hasn't joined us before on YouTube before, what we do is to determine who goes first. We're going to roll our little 20 die with the T-Rex inside. And what we do is whoever's got the highest will go first and go clockwise from there. Let's start with our guest, shall we?
Privilege. Thank you very much. Beautiful, beautiful dice. And I love the dice tower as well.
Ah, thank you.
Oh.
18.
18. Nice.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's a 9.
It is a 9.
Ooh. I'm still winning.
11.
11. Okay, so starting with Stuart. What is your number 5, sir?
Okay, so this show is something that I adore and I've rewatched recently and still stands up. And the theme tune is awesome and it is Visionaries.
Nice. Let's go it.
It is a time when magic is more powerful than science, and only those who control the magic control destiny. They are the visionaries.
So you got your little bit of lore at the beginning.
Yes,
like
I told you,
said,
I told you. It's going to be a common theme for all of mine.
So why Visionaries then in the end? I mean,
So not only is it got an epic theme tune, obviously, there is actually the bit that gets stuck in my head. You know what I'm saying? It gets stuck in my head quite a lot. The bit that gets stuck in my head is this sort of action music that happens during the episodes, where it's sort of when they're just about to start fighting, or the sort of Darkling Lords and Spectral Knights start fighting. The music sort of builds up and then just goes da, 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 like
Yes.
and like crescendos up, and that's what gets it stuck in my head quite a lot. But I just love the theme anyway. And also, this show needs some love because it's only got 13 episodes.
I heard about this. I wasn't sure if it.
Yeah.
It felt longer as a kid.
Yeah, well, I think I
years.
Yeah, exactly. I think I had the first 3, which like the pilot on like VHS, and then I bought the DVD.
I remember those.
Yeah, I bought the DVD. So the first 3 are basically like what happens to the planet. So like Primus is or Prismus, sorry, is like a technologically advanced planet, and then one day these 3 moons align and all technology stops, and then it sort of passes on a few years, and they've all turned into like knights, and there's like the Darkling Lords, the Spectral Knights, and then Merklin, not related to Merlin, like invites all these knights to come to his shrine, and if any of them can pass all these trials, he will give them magic. And conveniently, 8 good guys and 8 bad guys get through,
Of course.
and the others don't make it. So they form these 2 teams, and I say it has so much cool story, and I say the artwork stands up today. I watched it on YouTube. They're all on YouTube. I watched them a couple of months ago. There's like one or two color muck-ups. The rest of it is pretty standard, like no mistakes. You've got Peter Cullen in there as one of the bad guys. The guy who plays
Optimus
Starscream
himself.
Yeah, and Starscream as well, who's in there.
Legends.
Yeah, they're both great, and it's such a shame that this franchise only got 13 episodes to sort of go really light on the lore, and then that was in the 80s, and since then no one's picked it back up. So you've had like nearly every other franchise from back then. The Transformers has kept going. He-Man's kept going. Thundercats has had a couple of, well, let's say one rebirth. We won't count the whole one.
Yeah.
No,
But did you ever find out why it was only the 13 then?
So I believe from Toy Galaxy, when I was into them, is because it was done in like the late 80s. I think it's like 86, 87.
Right.
It was like the end of the time where like those sort of shows were like an advert for toys. So you had Transformers and He-Man and everything else. And I believe it was like coming to the end of how that's how you make money out of the franchise.
Parents are like, not another one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the toys didn't do as well, even though they were really cool because you had the little figures, the little hologram chests and the hologram staffs and everything. And they just didn't sell, I guess, as much as they needed to. So after one season, they just canned the show.
Canned it.
And I think it's Hasbro that owns it. I don't know. Maybe it's been passed by loads of companies now. And there was like rumors that I think it was Super 7 or NECA or something. We're going to do some statues of like Darkstorm and Leoric, who are the leaders
Are
of
they
each of
the
them.
people who did the He-Man
Yeah,
classic?
yeah.
Because I was thinking this would be dying.
Exactly,
out,
right, yeah.
Something like this, it's just we want it as a collectible now.
But
Exactly.
You could also take it one step further because if I remember, the toys used to be like plastic staff with a sticker on the front.
Yeah, it's hologram
hologram
sticker, yeah.
But now with
QR.
what we've got, we could actually. Well, I wasn't going so much to QR. You could do
But
that as
like,
well.
and then it comes out.
But
of
like, you could have the thin kind of plastic with the hologram in the middle of it, so it'd be transparent all the way through. Rather
Right.
than,
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
clear
they
back.
could look.
There's so
There was some
much.
concept art of Leoric, and he basically had him on like a rock with the line coming out of his
Oh, wow.
chest as he was turning it. It looked beautiful. And I was like, if they make that, I might have to buy it.
because this would go great as like a live action movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Like,
nowadays,
like,
it-
We've
animation.
been saying that for years.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Honestly, I,
mean,
don't know of all the other stuff that's been made, like how this has not just been picked up, or most of our list, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I agree, and I think it would make a great board game. So I wrote when I rewatched all the episodes, I wrote like an Excel of like each character, how like all their like if like I guess like
He was like sending it to me.
yeah,
Like, what
yeah.
do you think? What do you think?
Yeah. I was like, well, this one's like more like the cheater, the guy who has the cheater, so he can move more, and then you have the guy with the bear, he's stronger. So like, and you could like morph them in. So there's stats, you could like flip the card over. So I've taken inspiration from loads of different board games that I play, like the Transformers deck builder. So when you flip over, you've got different powers. So you change to your animal form. The power
That's
staff.
so potential. It's
And I was just like, the whole concept of the show is like Merklin sends you on quests. So you basically can go to Merklin, get a quest, and you have to go around the boards to do that quest. Use your power staff. You can use it once, and then you have to go back to Merklin to recharge it and get rewards. It'd be like it's a dungeon crawling.
so cool. And you
adventure.
can have like Kickstarter hologram
Oh, wait,
cards and
you
everything.
could have so and all the little minis. I mean, I just buy games for the mini
Problem
figures.
is, everyone's going to see this now. It's going to go out.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if they do, I'd be happy.
Someone's actually done it.
I would back the crap out of that because it's such. I say every other show back then had like 100, 150 episodes, and for some reason this show only got 13. And
So did it ever finish? Or was
not really. The last episode it was just a normal
sort of
episode.
Just, all right, okay.
Yeah, I think they were obviously expecting. It wasn't like a cliff. Lucky enough, there wasn't a cliffhanger like some shows that are terrible. But like being like, oh, there's a cliffhanger for the next season, and then they get
So we
cancelled.
get cancelled.
Like the worst one is the Silver Surfer cartoon. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever seen that. Oh my god,
yeah.
that's the big. Literally, Thanos destroys the entire universe, and it's just him and Thanos standing.
it just stops.
and then he just goes, "Next season, there isn't one." I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So like, as it wasn't like that. It was just the first three were sort of like an intro to all the characters and like the concept, and then pretty much every episode after that was just like a sort of one and done episode with explaining a couple of little bits. Like there's other wizards that Merklin's captured, and like you have to go and yeah, it was just so cool because they had this technology to begin with. They bring that back quite a lot as well, and like one of the good guys is like a cop. And one of the bad guys, he's like the thief. Thief that used to go, and so they know each other still, even though it's all new. And it was just such a cool show, cool designs, like all the rhymes when they had to activate their power staffs were all great, and it's all gone.
Very Green Lantern-esque.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
it?
kind of
Well,
mate. He's kind of like that. But and I love Green Lantern. That I'm glad they're doing a Lanterns TV show soon because that franchise needs some love. Everyone's scared to touch it
100%.
after Ryan Reynolds did that movie. So
It wasn't his fault, though, honestly.
I know. I mean, I don't think the movie is bad as people say, but yeah. So yes, Visionaries, my number 5. It should be higher, but the other ones I feel like I've got better.
So the way you've
tunes.
talked about it, it's like
Yeah.
it should have
I
been
mean, it's
number
probably
one.
one of my favourite shows. But
Substantial.
This would be in my
Theme
top
shows.
5 cartoons.
Yes.
Like cartoons, because as a kid, that's different. Because I didn't realise there were only
But
13.
that's a different episode.
That is a different episode.
I think we did like cartoons like ages
We
ago.
did a while
I
ago,
think
yeah.
Visionaries was in my top 5 because its themes. It's a cool theme, but
Yes,
it's
you
got
mean
better.
Simon run that episode?
Yeah.
Season 1.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
but
that.
like there's better ones I've got better themes. I wouldn't say they're as good as show as
Okay.
what this one is.
But we can do part 2, kids.
Wow.
TV
Yeah.
shows.
Mate, there were so many. We went like Simon went to town on that one.
That list was ridiculous. Anyway, anything else on Visionaries?
No, just it's awesome. Go and watch it on YouTube and somehow bring it back.
Yeah.
If there's any producers or Kickstarters, make a game.
Listening, yeah.
And let's kickstart your board
Let's
game.
Yeah,
kickstart
please,
the board
yeah.
game, definite. Mario, what's the number 5, sir?
So my number 5 is a really, really macho show. It is so macho that they gave it 2 masculine pronouns for its name, but also it's so masculine that it reveals a fabulous secret to reveal his his powers, and that is He-Man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Super Ted.
No, that's a secret magic word. No, this is He-Man. It yet again sets it all up.
I am Adam, Prince of Eternia,
Let's tell that story.
defender of the secrets of Castle
This is the bit.
Grayskull.
This is the bit.
This is Cringer.
Oh, not Cringer.
My fearless friend. Fabulous secret powers were revealed
There
to
it is.
me.
Fabulous
the day
secret
I held
powers.
aloft my magic sword and said, "By the
I-
power of
Bruce Skull.
Well, this is something that you just said over and over
I mean,
as a kid.
like every single one of us got some sort of like sword or spoon just held up in the
Yeah,
sky,
yeah.
right?
Every-
Like, if your mum wouldn't let you have a sword as a
Wrapping
kid.
paper.
Yeah, yes, anything,
it.
anything. Just hold it up in the
It
air.
was the thing. The figures used to come with like a shield for He-Man. It was like in every episode. Where's the shield? He never used it. You always
Yeah,
said that.
comics only.
Yeah. And when you read the comics, it's like there's 2 swords. Hold on, what? And then when you bought, I don't know if any of you had the toys and stuff, but I was full on into He-Man. And I got one year the kind of dress up kit, which was the weird braces thing that you wear.
You got that?
I had that.
Nice.
It came with the shield and it came with the sword. And
There's
the
got
sword,
to be a picture of that somewhere.
fucking hope not. I fucking know this skinny kind of 5-year-old.
Cut into YouTube right now.
Skinny 5-year-old.
Did you have
with
the
that.
wig as well? The Adam
No,
wig?
no. I actually had long hair as well. It doesn't get better for me. But yeah, the sword had 2 parts and stuff. But this theme tune, like it was perfect. Like running around the playground at school, just humming it to yourself. No, 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 no. Like, and running around and I have the power. Yeah, and then turning around to your best mate and going, "You're Cringer."
Yeah.
Bend over, let me ride you.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So it's a whole different theme of childhood traumas. But it was such a great show.
No, I remember the toy because you said like
Yeah.
half of it was purple, half of it was
Half
grey.
of it
Yeah.
grey.
And you just pull it
Put the
apart.
sword.
Put it apart,
Yeah,
yeah.
Skeletor and
Yeah. Because I watched. There's a whole documentary on it.
Yeah.
There's toys. There's the toys that made us, and then there's
there's the one
Another
on
one as
Amazon.
well,
It's
yeah.
the one on Amazon, isn't it?
yeah. And it tells you all about.
Grayskull of Eternator or something, isn't it? I think it's called.
Yeah.
And it goes into like the idea originally was they were going to have the cartoons were going to follow the comic books, and then they were then because there were adverts for the toys, they didn't think they could get all that storyline into such a short period of time, so they just went with what they had. And then it was like, yeah, but these are adverts for toys, but you can't have them as adverts for toys. I've got a great idea. Let's stick a kind of learning at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
What have we learned today, kids? Well, don't hit people with swords. Anyway, bye.
I remember the documentary cracked me up because they tried to do this whole concept to the different companies, and they were like, well, great, yeah, but he's a barbarian, but like, what's his backstory? And the guy, I think one of the directors was like, oh, well, that comic book's going to come inside every single figure. And they're like, and the guy, everyone else was like, what? I think walks out and goes, we need to write a comic book.
Yeah, I remember.
Quickly,
Yeah.
with some backstory.
And like every character has their own backstory in comic. And I remember reading the comics, but the comics were tiny.
Yeah, they were like-
almost postage stamp
Yes,
size.
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
trying
Happy
to
Meal
read,
size.
Happy Meal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was. And you were tiny, and you're trying to read through them. But in the end, you were just like, I don't care. Like I've just got He-Man.
You've
with
got the figure now, so
yeah, and they had that power punch where you twist them and then they swing forward and hit stuff.
Yeah.
And Ram Man where you pushed him down and then pushed the little button on his heel and he'd jump up. And then after about 6 months, you pushed him down. He just bounced up. He didn't lock out anymore.
Battle Cat was awesome.
Battle Cat, but
Yeah.
With his
the thing
saddle.
I,
Do
the
you-
thing
do
I
you-
had-
Fisto with his power
Fisto
fist.
with-
Oh,
power
mate, Fisto, like that, the latest cartoon with Fisto. But like the Cringer thing was
Yeah.
like
Handful.
in the
yeah,
documentary was just like, oh, well, he needs to ride something, and someone just got like a tiger from a safari set and was like, repaint that green and yellow. It's fine. They just made it up.
It was
And
our
they were
old toy line, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the actual old toy line.
Panther, they just covered in like flock material.
Yeah.
I think they did quite a few of their toys, like where they just remastered.
Well, they did that to keep the brand going. They just got because all the figures had the basic same body shape. They just changed the head and painted it a different color. It was like, that's a
and gave it slightly
guy.
different armor.
Yeah.
Very few of them with different
But
molds.
it worked, right? I think they outsold Barbie for like 2 years in a row or something stupid.
And in how do they appeal to women? I don't know. We'll stick Teela in there.
Yeah, no, it's She-Ra. They did She-Ra. Yeah,
but she was like
Power.
10 foot tall compared to He-Man.
She was.
She was like, no one wanted to play with He-Man.
Yeah.
Like with
When you got the Teela that's massive.
It's one of those things
Jordan.
that if you watch the cartoon now, because it was like early 80s, that it's obviously just recut stuff. Like punches the screen
Filmation
so many times
because they
and runs across the screen like that.
They third partied it, didn't they? So they sent it out to another people, and then they were like, "Cool, we've got all this. Now we need to do these scenes." And they went, "Oh, cool, that'll be an extra this amount of money." And they went, "Don't worry about it. I think we can work with what we've got."
And obviously in the original, he could never actually use his sword. He'd like throw his sword to cut something or like hit lasers away.
Yeah, he was never allowed to hit anyone with the sword.
Same as like the original Thundercats. Never had to actually fight with the sword. When like
that's what they said in the movie, wasn't it? He wasn't allowed to use his sword because he wasn't able to use it in the.
Yeah, you must have listened to Commentary Corner.
That's how I went.
Can't strike anyone down.
I don't know where I get the knowledge from, but it just sits in there. It just sits in there, and then you realise you guys say it.
Yeah, but this is one of the franchises, like unlike Visionaries, that like has got a rebirth like multiple times.
100%.
And it's had like I know that the future one like I used to like as a kid, but no, it's not great. You had the
2099 or whatever, or 29.
Yeah, when he's like when the people from the future come back and bring Skeletor and He-Man forward. That was like, okay, but then you had the early 2000s one, which is great.
Yep.
Although I didn't like the sword design very much. But then like the Kevin
The show
Smith
wasn't too bad.
Yeah, the show was pretty cool. And it gave like Skeletor an origin because like with that show, but the original one, there was no like story development.
No,
it was literally
Skeletor
like
just exists and is bad.
Yeah. He's going to laugh and try and do some stuff, and He-Man's going to stop him.
Yeah, he's got a really cool castle that looks like a snake.
Yeah.
What should we call it? Snake Mountain. Great.
Done.
And then what's the castle that is for the good guys? Grey Skull. It looks like a skull. Brilliant. Done.
Yeah.
And then like you kind of put the two together. I liked when they kind of bring in She-Ra and Hordak.
Yeah.
And the Horde. Like
Hordak was good.
Yeah, that was good. Like the Hordak used to be like Skeletor used to be like the
minion.
of Hordak and stuff. And that whole thing of like that I watched that film again like a year ago, I think, and it was still holds up, man. It's a great story, and again, that could be a great live. I'm hoping they kind of do that with the next season of Kevin Smith's show.
Yeah. Is it having another season?
Yeah, it's got a third one coming.
Yeah, so at the end of the second season, they sort of hint at She-Ra.
And he's talked about it like it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched that show, it is so good.
Yeah.
It's the best
It
ever.
is, and like you mentioned Fisto. Fisto's in it for like 5 minutes, but he's got two of the greatest lines
he has.
in that. He goes, was it when like Skeletor was like really big pressure? He goes, I really want to fist that guy. and then he's like this death mist comes towards him. He goes, time for this mist to meet my fist. And it's like so good.
You can tell that's scripted by Kevin.
Yeah.
But there's so many characters missing as well. Like Stratos, I haven't seen Stratos yet. Ram Man hasn't shown up as much as I would.
He's been like the end of the
and he was
second part, isn't it? Yeah.
Quite in it. Duncan's in it quite a lot, but I don't feel
he's great. Again, I didn't really like him in the original, but in this new show, he's great.
Teela's good as like now she's becoming the sorceress.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite cool. But as it goes, like He-Man is like one of the things from my childhood that I definitely remember. Like it was the first cartoon that I really got into. It was the first set of toys where, like Pokemon, I had to have them all. Even though they looked exactly the same.
Repainted,
yeah.
The battle armor damage.
Yeah, the one we hit it and flipped over the first time we ever saw that.
Sounds like that Simpsons episode with the Malibu Stacy, but it's got a hat.
Yeah,
I want it.
It's exactly like, but it was exactly like that. Oh, he's got an axe, not a sword. He's got to be a new character. And it's just He-Man. Okay.
With an axe instead.
With an axe. So He-Man, my number 5.
Nice, mate. Good
pick. choice.
Heisenbyrne.
Right, so we are going to, I'll say after school. So I'm not going for cartoons. I'm going for something that we'd all want to do. I guarantee we still want to do it now. Right? And this is on normally once a week about, I think, normally at 4 o'clock. And it's presented by Pat Sharp.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it's Funhouse on CITV.
It's outrageous.
Anything goes.
Great.
It's time for Funhouse. Wacky
So what was the favourite part for this?
The twins. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but you go back and watch it now and you're like, they're not as good as I remember them
Don't
being.
ruin the memory.
Something's
go-karts.
changed. Yeah, go-karts.
Mate.
The go-karts, and like I was trying to work out what the first thing was, and I think it was just a quiz, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
was you the go-kart guy or was you actually the funhouse guy? Which one did you prefer?
Oh, you want to do the fun house.
Right, okay.
That's all you
'Cause
want
a lot
to
of
do.
kids I used to, the go-karts are
Yeah,
way
but
better. Rah, rah.
We had go-karts around where I used to live, and they were pretty fast, and I don't think they were fast, those go-karts. But this just had everything from like when you like had soft play or when you grew up as a kid. It was a game show for kids.
The OG soft play.
The old- the
That's
OG
what I'm
soft
saying.
play.
Soft play, yeah.
I've never thought of it like that.
Kids don't know what they've got nowadays. They've got a fun house all
We
of
had, to
their
go,
own.
we had to go on a show to do soft
Yes.
play.
Yeah. So you had like two teams. Was it red and yellows? I think it was.
It was.
Yeah, red and
Yeah.
yellows, and it was normally brothers, sisters, or like
I mean, school clubs. It was usually
Yeah.
schools.
yeah, or schools.
Yeah.
And like they turn up, and then basically have a little quiz, and you get like seconds or something for was it head start for the go kart? I think it was.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
So-
It was like a quiz, then a gungy round, and then
Runge.
another quiz, and a gungy
So
round.
everything from
The
like,
90s was just full of guns.
guns,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was,
wasn't it?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
get your own back.
Yeah, mate. That's what I thought you were going to say when you were talking. I was like, something you always wanted to do. I was like, get your own back. Would have
Yeah,
been
get
something.
your own
Yeah.
back would have been great. But yeah, no, this one was just one of those things that as a kid, you always wanted to watch it, and you go, "Why are you going for like the binoculars as a kid?"
Yeah.
You're
Get
like,
the games console.
Get the games
Get
console.
the games
Get
console.
that games console. Or the pocket. Like I always
Yeah.
wanted a pocket TV.
Yeah.
I know they didn't work properly. But fuck me, I wanted one.
But when you see the pocket TV, like you're showing it as being like quite small. It's actually like this.
Yeah.
I had
The
this
pocket
image of me
TV.
being able
It was
to
a
watch it
backpack-
underneath the
backpack
duvet.
TV.
So my
Oh,
mum
duvets.
couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no fucking way you're getting any
Not
reception.
the aerial.
Are you
That
in
was-
bed? Yeah, totally aerial sticking out the side of the duvet, almost creating a tent.
I actually I tried to get my daughter into this because it's on like Discovery or something
Yep.
still. We watched the episode the other day and it was something like, and he's like, when we do the prize at the end, he like reads them all. He's like, Badminton said one each, and it's like every time he's like, oh, you'll get one each every time. Yeah, it's like you don't have to share it. It's all right, but it's just some of the prizes were like,
Yeah,
But
they were
like
ridiculous.
what you were saying, this is
How do you share a games console?
yeah, exactly. I say it's one each.
no,
One
yeah,
pad
definitely
each.
not sharing. Like you always wanted to hear that. Was it the rooster?
Yeah,
Yeah, we get
That's
a
the
special
star
prize.
prize, yeah.
Yeah, just get down the slide.
that's a caravan. No, wait, hold on. That's bullseye.
Yeah,
Sorry.
bullseye. That's bullseye. Yeah. That's coming back as well.
Oh, I can't wait. Such a great
And
show.
one.
No, it was just everything about it as a kid. It was like it didn't matter if you liked cartoons or not. Everybody sort of liked Funhouse. If you said you watched Funhouse, it was never like you watched Funhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the adults probably enjoyed it as well.
I still, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it
I-
now, but I guess back then my parents they actually sat down and watched it with me because they were just like, "This is so dumb."
Well, it was weird because I knew Pat Sharp from Funhouse, but my mum and everyone else around me knew Pat Sharp from Capital Radio. So,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
so like you know, you're
Does he
watching.
still do radio now?
I think he does radio
think
now.
so.
But
Yeah.
he does a lot of. So I've
Radio
seen
2, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that sort of now.
I've seen him at Butlins and at Bestival, and he doesn't have the mullet anymore.
Sorry, a festival or bestival?
Bestival, the best festival,
the best of-
the best festival, Bestival. Family friendly, obviously, or not when he's on stage because he swears like a fucking sailor.
he really?
Oh yeah. They all do. It's really bizarre, except for I forget his name now. Does the clowny thing, sign language for kids?
Mr. Tumble.
Mr.
Mr. Tumble, thank you.
God, could you imagine if he swear?
Justin, he does not swear.
He
at
sign
all.
language is swearing all the time. I
Hey,
just don't know.
motherfuckers!
I have
I see
heard
Mr. Tumble
yeah.
and I just think happy.
Oh,
Like,
I don't. I see Mr. Tumble and I think lawsuit in 10 years' time. Along the lines of Uncle Jimmy.
oh,
but
no,
yeah,
no, my boy loves Mr. Tumble.
Yeah, I mean, most kids do. And
It's like all the things on, was it Balamori?
Yeah,
as well?
yeah.
You wouldn't see them swearing.
no, that's it. I saw Mr. Maker once because he does that as well. And he swore. And I was just like, oh, human. Yeah.
They are human.
Yeah. But you know, Funhouse was like, so knowing Pat Sharp from like radio and that, my mum was like, kind of, oh yeah, it's really cool. And then she heard him on TV and saw him on TV. And for a little while, I feel like she watched it because that was her eye candy on TV.
Yeah,
it was
that
the
makes
thing.
sense.
She sat on the sofa and just kind of go,
The
yeah,
mullet.
You can watch this. Great. I didn't really need any justification, but I'm going to watch it. Yeah.
Oh, look, twins.
Yeah, like twins. Games console. Get the games console.
But this is one of those theme tunes for no apparent reason that will just pop into my head. Like, just go, fun house, prize to be won.
Or someone will say something and you'll be like, it's fun, it's crazy,
It's outrageous. When people say it's outrageous, I just go, oh.
Nice.
So yeah, it's something that now, like, looking back at all the immersion and activities that you could do, like the Crystal Maze one and like Tomb Raider, you could do. Why haven't someone done the Funhouse one? As like as an adult,
that's a cool idea.
Because I think as an escape room, it wouldn't work. You just want to stay in there,
You just want
doing
to
the go-karts and then soft play.
Yeah.
The gun just getting to a certain level.
Yeah,
You're drowning it or
drowning
something.
in guns.
I'm not coming out.
Nice. Anything else on Funhouse then?
No, it was just one of those ones where I was kind of thinking, do I go down the cartoon route? And I thought,
Yeah, you got to throw in a live action.
Throw it, and this instantly just popped in because I was like, I'm always, everybody loves Funhouse. So
Nice. Good pick. I totally forgot that I didn't mention that I won't be doing my top 5 because my top 5 was in a previous season. So go back and watch that. I might mention mine in the episode. Let's go to the number 4s.
Number 4.
Back over to Super Stew. For
Okay, so I'll be
number 4.
interested if anyone else gets excited because this is about I do. So my next one is James Bond Jr.
Oh my god! I don't remember this. This is outside of my
mate,
era.
it's
Just.
so I love this theme tune.
So I remember the song, but I never ever watched it. But let's give it a play. It's got the theme there straight away.
James Bond Jr. No one can stop him, but scum always tries. Young Bond cuts through each web of spies.
Explanation?
So it's like, yeah.
So what does he do again?
James Bond Jr.
So explain James Bond Jr. for people that didn't know what that show was.
So it is the nephew of the classic James Bond 007, who basically goes to this, I guess, boarding school where conveniently Q's nephew, IQ, is there as well, and Felix's niece or something, a daughter, is there as well. And he basically goes to this school, boarding school, but at the same time he has to stop Scum, who is the brother of the organisation counterpart of Spectre. And you have like Jules shows up and a few others, but it's just him basically going out on missions with tech that IQ's made to stop. It's like mini James Bond movies.
Corporations have cousins.
Yeah, I can't. I try
there.
to find. I did Google. I did Wikipedia.
Isn't Jaws in it as well?
Yeah. He's like in this blue suit. I did.
Is it the actual Jaws or was it a mini version?
No. It's actual Jaws. So I don't remember what Scum stood for. I did Google it.
Oh my god!
The only thing I know about this, I don't know if people remember it. It used to be like a little tiny, as a toy, a little projector.
Yep.
And you add a reel to it, and you would show you it with no sound. It's just the footage. I had one of those for James Bond Jr. and it's like I don't know why, but that's the only reason I know the show.
I don't remember watching it at all.
What was it on? Because I don't ever remember.
I think it was on like ITV, like
yeah.
ITV or something. It was like after school on
Or
Channel 3.
I think it was part of the 4 o'clock, 4:30
Yeah,
sort of
something like
jobs.
that.
Was it LWT at the time? I don't know.
There must have been a clash because I've never watched.
No,
You've
I
never
haven't
seen it.
either.
So whatever was on at 4.
Watch that instead.
Watch the
Yeah.
theme tune after we finish recording. You can see what it looks like. So Scum.
Yeah, I was watching it. there, sort of like-
Scum stands for Saboteurs and Criminal United in Mayhem.
Oh, of course. Why
Of course
wouldn't
it does. Yeah. So
You reckon somebody had the acronym first and then started
yeah,
So we've got this name. Now let's add stuff to it. So what have we got?
100%.
But I remember this had a toy line and everything.
Yeah,
as well,
I
didn't
had a
it?
few
Yeah.
toys. I had like the underwater Bond. I remember that. It was like a sort of yellow with like orange.
I know you're a hoarder. You still have it.
Yeah, of course I do.
thought you did.
All my toys are still in the loft at home. My
their packaging.
parents threw it out of the loft. I did put it in my loft
put it
now. It's
yours.
really annoying. But yeah, I think I only had that figure actually. I don't think I got that many because they were quite hard to find. They weren't in Woolworths very often. But I just remember being like, I used to like the James Bond films. My parents introduced me to the old
Yeah.
like Connery and Roger Moore films, and even Timothy Dalton, who's my favourite. I know, same as you.
Yeah.
Dalton's the best Bond. And then it was just this cartoon going, oh, cool, like a cartoon about James Bond. And just I'm totally into that. I couldn't tell you, I haven't watched it since I was a kid, so I couldn't tell you any episodes.
Yeah.
But I just remember there's a few bits from the theme that show up in episodes, like when he's the one where he's skiing, classic, skiing chase, all that kind of stuff. And it was just a really fun show, but just the theme tune, it's one of those ones where the theme tune's probably better than the show. But that always pops into my head every so often. I'm just like, doom, 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 and I'm like,
Kicks in
Bond!
straight away, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, randomly. So yeah, how come you guys never watched it? You should go. It's probably on YouTube somewhere.
Probably gonna.
It's good fun. It's good fun. I'm trying to think. The main guy. I'm trying to, again, I did Google it. The main actor who played Bond was
Not a Connery.
unprepared. No. No.
Lazenby.
It was
James Bond
George
Jr.
Lazenby. It was Corey Burton.
No.
So he's done quite a few other little things as well. But he's cool character.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went to. Don't want to get excited as visionaries, but it's a good show. Great theme tune.
You
Probably
put
on
that
tune.
over Vision.
No, because the theme tune's
The theme
fun,
tune,
man.
that's
That's
what
what
it
it's
is.
about themes.
It's not about the show.
themes,
It's
yeah.
Not about the
It's about the
shows.
theme.
It's about the themes.
So we'll go to Mario then for your number 4.
So my number 4, you mentioned it slightly earlier, Chris. Has a secret magic word, and when he says the secret magic word, he turns into Super Ted.
Oh, nice.
This is a story about an ordinary teddy bear.
But I had that monologue at the beginning.
When he was
Fucking
made,
brilliant.
They found something
Literally
wrong
my
with him
bear.
and threw him away like a piece of rubbish.
Like a piece of
It's
shit.
just the way he says it. It's the way he says it. Like a piece of rubbish.
From outer space,
Yep. With
a
bad
spotty
acne.
man
Spotty man.
brought him to life with his cosmic dust.
Just comes down, takes him.
With his cosmic jizz.
Where Mother Nature gave him.
This is all just lore at the moment.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. This is like Banana Man. Like Banana Man doesn't really have any kind of like.
Super Ted.
This is it. That's the entire theme tune there. And that was
just a
it.
I
monologue.
suppose there's kind of a bit in the background,
There's
but
a
yeah.
little bit, but it builds to it. It builds to it. And Super Ted, when I was younger, was like the one thing that I did watch religiously. It was like on when it came on, I'd go and watch it. It was that one and Mighty Mouse were the two that I used to watch as a
Mighty
kid.
Mouse.
Oh,
I remember
yes.
that. I don't remember the theme to it though.
Mighty
Mighty
Mouse.
Mouse.
No, I can't remember off the top
Oh,
of my
is
head.
it?
That's
Here
why
I come to the day.
That's it.
Mighty Mouse. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
and there was 2 of them as well because it was the old kind of.
That's
black,
right,
And then
yeah.
they brought him back later on
the
in life.
90s version or
Yeah,
something,
yeah, it was
wasn't
90s
it? Yeah.
version. But this used to be the one that I used to go and watch. So much so that they did a live show at the Palladium, and the guy that played
Super Ted.
yeah,
Really?
the guy that voiced Bulk and the guy that voiced Skeleton were on stage playing those exact characters
Was
on
Bob
stage.
the cowboy guy?
No,
No,
Bulk,
that was
Bulk was,
Texas.
no, that was Texas Pete.
Texas Pete.
Texas
He was
Pete.
the
Yeah.
boss, but
He-
they were the two.
Yeah,
like,
there
two
was,
of
there
them.
was his minions was Bulk and Skeleton. Or
Remember Skeleton? Yeah, I don't remember.
and then, of course, he was just trying to get the super secret word from Super Ted so that he could then turn himself into a superhero. But Super Ted was just brilliant. Like, it was
Wait,
like,
what was the secret word?
they did a whole show about it, and they never tell.
They
you.
never
Like,
tell you.
There's,
Oh,
there's-
nice.
there's, like, I think it was like the only double episode ever of Super Ted, which was like 40 minutes, and it tells you the.
It's like 4 hours as a kid.
Yeah, it is.
Like a movie. It was a movie.
Yeah, with inflation,
At
that's
that
4
age,
hours.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah, it's Titanic for children. It's
Yeah.
like you have to have a wee break halfway through. But it was just, it was such a great show. Like, and it did that thing like they had to do, which was this one never sold toys. This didn't really have a toy.
No,
line
it's
Yeah,
attached
no,
to
I
it.
say I never saw toys.
There was no kind of toys attached to it at all. I mean, you could buy like teddy bears and go, look.
but that was
Yeah, I
that was
think they
that
were
was
like-
the toys. Pretty
Yeah.
much every my Ted
Yeah.
was named Super Ted at one
Yeah.
point, and you know
Put a
all
red
of
cape on him.
Yeah,
you
so-
know, always.
Yeah, it was the first. Weirdly, the first superhero show that I watched ever.
It was an imagination show.
Yeah, it really was, and it built on that as well, and it was great for little kids. It was great for me at that time, and there was little books, read along books. It helped me read because you got the books with a tape, and it was a story about that. Normally, I don't think they were that creative because I think they rewrote stories that they'd shown on the show to put into these little books that you could read along. But it was so great, like him in his little red suit, Super Ted.
Yeah, he
all
rips
his
his
powers.
skin off and then the suit's underneath.
That's
I
it.
remember, yep.
And then
That was always the one that worried me. Is the whole skin come off.
That's it.
It's underneath my
Yeah.
skin is
No,
the
yeah, so-
suit.
So a spotty man, so a guy with acne, comes down, covers him in his super cosmic dust, and then he learns a super magic word.
It's just the beginning of it. It was like threw him out like a piece of shit.
So the raggy dolls.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
But it's just all there, isn't it? The exposition, everything's there. It tells you
Yeah.
what you need to know. You could watch any episode of it and not give a shit.
So I
about
think
it.
I think I had a couple on VHS. Definitely remember one when they go to like Australia or
Yep,
some mountain area thing. Yeah, that one. I remember watching that religiously.
I-
Yeah.
I remember one on a train.
Yeah, that might be the same. Might be the same one, but yeah.
But there were always kind of situations that kids would find themselves in, and the parents would have to try and explain to the kids, you know, we're going to do this. Actually, if you watch Super Ted episode 4, you'll actually understand what we're doing today, kids. Okay, and it was all stuff like that. It was really good. I enjoyed it, and the actual theme tune, like I say, is there. It's good. I thought it was really enjoyable.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely,
liked it.
mate.
Yeah,
Nice pick.
My number 4.
Nice.
I still don't know how that's better than the He-Man theme.
So He-Man was like, it was only there to sell toys, wasn't it, at the end of the day? And every advert there was a He-Man thing, and I think He-Man kind of reached its kind of the end of its run. As with Super Ted, I just had more of an impression on me. I mean, He-Man was the toys that I had and played with and loved the show. But when it comes to the theme tunes, like I would have put Banana Man on here as well, because I just remember that 39 Acacia Avenue, Eric eats a banana, which has an innuendo in there somewhere. And yeah, that was just great as well. So, but I went with his polar opposite, which was Super Ted.
It's not evil nemesis.
I'd like to see them go.
Oh, that should be a comic book, man.
Yeah.
Super Ted versus Banana Man. Nice.
Over to Chris then with your number 4, sir.
Okay, so we are going back to 91. We are going for animation.
Nice.
And like yourself, it was only 13 episodes, which I didn't realise it was, but it had
Was it as well?
banging. I thought it was loads, but I loved it. I can't even tell you if I really loved it, but I absolutely loved the theme tune, which means
I love the toys for this.
In my head, I was going to say I had no toys. I don't think I had any of the toys.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, I really want to know what it is.
Okay, and number 4 is basically Lilac Wars in space. Bucky O'Hare.
Oh, nice. Great. Yeah, nice bass. Love it.
In another dimension, another time and space, a parallel universe is falling on its face. When out of the chaos, who else could it be but the animal adventurers from SPACE? Bucky, Captain Bucky O'Hare. Mutants and aliens and toads beware. You're looking for adventure, well this is it. With Jenny, Deadeye, Blinky, and Willie to win. I said Bucky.
I mean, 13 episodes. It really?
Is that all it was?
That's
Really?
all it was. 13 episodes.
I love that show.
Right. I've definitely still in the lost one. I've got the 4-armed duck, which must be Deadeye.
Yeah, Deadeye Duck.
Yeah. I've still got him somewhere.
So I just remember my dentist always just had unlimited Bucky
episodes,
O'Hare, like, well done, you're a space ranger. Yeah, just like every time you go to the dentist, Bucky O'Hare sticker. And it was just like, looking back at it, I was like, just watching the animation and stuff, I was like, it is basically Lilac Wars. You got Toad kicking off in the corner, just you got Falcon and like the rabbit. Pretty much, I don't know what came first. 91. I think Lilac Wars had come out. Star Fox, was it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I kind of see similarities.
I think this was out before.
Well,
I think that was out before.
I think,
I remember Star Fox coming out later on down the line.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can see like, the kind of take
totally.
it.
You can see,
absolutely inspired by it.
Yeah.
Like,
do a barrel roll.
But the reason this took me as a kid, because obviously the music just kicks in, it goes, but the colours.
Yeah,
it was
just
like
very
vibrant.
Oranges, greens,
and like golds, and you just like.
I can't even. Was there those? I mean, just explain it really quickly. So, but it was like there was these toads that were taking over the
and they were trying
universe.
to take over the.
They were using like a
planets.
portal thing, weren't they? And that's how the kid Willie Do It ends
Gets
up
taken.
gets taken in, and to make sure that they don't realise that he's a person,
Yeah, disguise
put him
him
in a
don't they?
monkey spacesuit, so he looks like a gorilla.
Yes, I remember that now. Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's just one of these that when I was listening to the first episode, I was like, not even a hint of Bucky O'Hare, not even a mention, not even an honourable.
That's on my honourable mentions for later.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, it was just like the way like any sort of like just the way it just instantly grabs me.
Yeah.
Like, so for a theme.
Was it even the way the sort of they're singing? They're doing like this.
They're doing
this like thing of going like in your face, in your face when talking.
Yeah,
and
it's
sort
not
of
like it's
telling
talking
you
law, it's like
what
going with the
everybody
rhythm of
is.
the
It's like,
song.
you got the goodies, you got the baddies, and saying what it is. And
I'm going to have to go and check them on YouTube. There's only 13 episodes.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've
they've
got
got to be
the
there, haven't
DVD
they?
as well. So like you can get it, just the whole.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I
'cause
thought because I remember that being, I think it was like Live and Kicking or something. It was like out and it was like, this brand new show is going to be awesome. Blah blah blah. I thought that must have gone on for ages.
I think they did. They just repeated it, and as kids, we just
didn't
lapped it
notice.
up.
Yeah.
Well, I know watching stuff now, like my boy just watches everything over and over.
Well, yeah,
and
well,
over
like,
again.
as I was a kid, I like just cupboard full of VHSs. You just put the same VHS of like 3 episodes of Thundercats or Transformers like on repeat every morning. That's the only 3 episodes on. When you finally realise there's over 100 episodes, you're like, wait, what? I've only seen 3 of these. What's going on?
What's a rerun?
yeah. Just rerunning
I've
myself.
seen this one.
I see this one as a classic.
Still, it's brand new.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, yeah. But I saw a rerun. Anything else on Bucky then?
No, I mean, like you said, because it's only 13 episodes. If you get a chance or you can watch it, just give it a go, or at least check out the intro.
That's another toy line that I think like NECA or Super 7 should pick up.
They should bring that
because
back.
they could do some great toys with them now.
But do you remember the toys? They used to stand.
Yeah.
They always stood like they were having a shit.
Yeah.
The knees were bent. The
So
knees
he's
were
the bent- yeah, bent arms like
up, and they constantly looking like they were having a shit.
I can't look at Bucky here now.
No,
That.
Lots of little pellets behind him.
Is he shooting a toad? No, he's taking a shit.
He's
He's
just teabagging that toad. Don't worry.
Take that teabag toad.
Teabag toad.
Nice then. Let's go to the number 3s.
Number 3.
Back to Stuart Stark.
Back to me, number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, right. Could you reset start? Because this is a Marvel show.
Oh, wow, okay. That was a good
is
time.
it?
That was a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So from the Marvel Action Hour back in the 90s,
Yeah.
this song pops into my head all the time. It is the Fantastic Four from the 90s.
Oh, yes. From the 90s.
Yeah,
From the
mate, from the
90s.
90s.
I hope I got this right then because.
There was one in the 60s.
Yes,
as well.
it's
This
the
is
one.
it, yeah.
It's the one. And again, it explains the story with a cool theme tune.
It sounds like a game show.
Yeah, it does.
doesn't
It does.
Come on down, Reed Richards.
Wait.
I remember this thing, but I never watched it because I think
right.
this is in the prime of when Spider-Man and stuff was out.
It
Really,
was just
wasn't
before. I
It?
think it was just before it. So it was like the Marvel Action Hour was this, the original Iron Man, and
Yeah.
like the Hulk,
Yeah.
and Silver Surfer might be in there as well. But yeah, so I mean, the show again probably hasn't aged well. Like you've watched some of the episodes, but it gets the heart of what Fantastic Four is, which is like the family dynamic. Yes, and like living in the Baxter building with the bossy person who owns it, and constantly asking for rent. And actually, some of the episodes they bring in like the Hulk in one of the episodes. Galactus is in like a radio episode. Super Skrull. They bring all of these characters in it, and it introduced me to the Fantastic Four before I'd even read a comic book about it. And then
really?
Yeah. So I knew about Spider-Man and everyone else, and then Fantastic Four. I was like, oh, what's this? And I was like, well, Human Torch is awesome. And then I was like, oh, Miss Fantastic is awesome. And now growing up, you know that Invisible Woman's actually the most powerful.
Yep.
And she's totally badass reading the comics. So, but yeah, introduced me to Fantastic Four, and I used to go down to World's End, and I would pick up loads.
Words End.
Jesus.
Pick up Fantastic. I think I've got like Fantastic Four 2099, and there's another one when Ben Reilly was Scarlet Spider or Spider-Man,
Scarlet Spidey.
and he goes into the Baxter building, and there's a whole adventure with the five of them
Hold
together.
on. No, he was Spider-Man, wasn't he? Because he was a clone.
Yeah. So he was Scarlet Spider
yeah.
for a little bit, then he became Spider-Man.
Yeah.
With the sort of similar suit, but he had like different.
Look at the
different fingers
Marvel
and stuff.
guys go.
So it was that, and I bought like a whole sort of pack. They did like packs of it, and it had like the first Ben Reilly Spider-Man one. I think like an episode of an issue of him as Scarlet Spider, which is one of my favorite costumes ever.
Yeah.
And then a Fantastic Four episode. No, Reed Richards has like long hair and a beard. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But just like I was like, what the hell's going on? But like watching that, and I think I can't remember if it's that show or they do a different one, but it changes the art style slightly either halfway through, or it's like a second season, which may make the suits all dark.
Okay.
But it's still a pretty decent show. It's very like corny but that's what the Fantastic Four is meant to be.
Yeah.
And just again, that theme song just pops into my head every so often. I'm just like do. Yeah, exactly.
I think from that show as well, they kind of ran off the Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm kind of
rivalry,
rivalry, and also that the comic relief sort of in the show. So like Reed and Sue were kind of like, here's your family, here's your this is the serious bit, and then those two were the clowns, and like they were hated each other, but would do anything for each other, brothers sort of.
Yes,
thing.
yeah, 100%. And it has. It was the first introduction of Ben Grimm and the is it Alicia, who's blind.
Yes, the blind
lady,
girlfriend.
blind girlfriend. And so that was a really cool concept as a kid, like watching that, being like, oh crap,
because he goes out into the world, doesn't he, in his Mac and his hat.
Yeah.
And then he finally
he like rescues her, and then realizes that she like doesn't care.
She's blind.
Yeah,
she doesn't give a shit.
But she knows because she can feel what.
Yeah.
But she doesn't care, and I just thought it was a really sweet story. And I've always loved the powers of Mr. Fantastic. I love like Plastic Man, DC, and just like how inventive they could be. And I think like again, it could be. I know they're doing a movie with like Pedro Pascal, but that could be like a really cool new animated show, just to be really inventive with the powers. Because all the computer games, like Ultimate Alliance and stuff, that go like having like Invisible Woman, just having all these like shields and stuff.
Yeah.
Just beat the crap out
Oh,
of
my
him.
lines was such a kick-ass
Mate,
game.
yeah, so good.
But the graphics in that as well. I used to love the partial shadows. So you get the silhouettes, but then only their insignia or part of their suit would be in colour. So
Yeah.
you'd have a white background, black symbol, like Spider-Woman would have the white eyes, and then that yellow kind of motif that she has on her chest.
That's right.
That would just be in yellow on the suit. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
Ahead of its time, that game.
Oh,
I just
so
used to
good.
be. Was it X-Men Legends, which is like the
X-Men
pre-one?
Legends, yeah.
Like just jumping around as Iceman, like
Yep.
like freeze, like ice sliding everywhere.
Yeah.
Just constantly like, right, we're gonna go over here. Right, well, I'm gonna jump and
Just
slide
like the
over
ice
there.
slide.
Come on,
ice
everyone
slide.
join me. Come on, mate, get over here.
Or like be Nightcrawler and just teleport your way across.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys, hurry up! I'm teleporting
It was
through.
taking you so long.
Had such a great mechanic where you could create your team as well. And
Yes.
you could get super secret teams that would happen through the comic.
Yeah,
books
so
as
you had
well.
was it the Hulk, Mr. Fantastic,
Yep.
Spider-Man, and Iron Man, which is like the IQ team.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
all the cleverest people in Marvel and stuff.
And then later on, they brought in the Fantastic Federation. So if you got Spider-Man, because I think Johnny Storm's dead, so you got Spider-Man, Ben Grimm, Reed Richards, and Sue Richards, and all of their suits would then suddenly change white.
Yeah, white,
white
with
and
black.
black,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. For the future Fantastic Foundation. Yeah,
Fantastic Foundation. Future Foundation.
Future Foundation. Yeah. I've got those comics when he dies. It's very sad.
Yeah.
But,
And they bring him back.
yeah, they have to.
Well,
man.
they've done
So-
it. He's the second Human Torch, isn't he? So
The almighty dollar.
Yes, no. So yeah, great theme tune. I still enjoyed the show, but the theme's just so catchy.
Nice.
You'll be humming it later when you're in bed. You
I'm kind of in my head now, actually.
You said, don't need no more. And it kicks in.
Nice. Then we should move to Mario for your number 3 then.
yes, I've got to remember what I did now. No, I did do that.
Got it?
Yeah, I've got it. So this is another childhood show of mine. One that actually had a big influence on my education, and it involved a big bird and a giant mammoth called Mr. Snuffleupagus, and it is Sesame Street.
Nice.
One.
This is it.
Two.
See, everyone remembers something from Sesame Street.
Yeah?
So where the air is safe, can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Barry White just
I
kicked it
just
there.
what I need
put
is
that
a
bass in.
thrash metal version of that. That'd be amazing.
Oh, someone will do that.
Hey, Bert.
Hey, Bert. Rubber ducky, you're the one.
So why Sesame Street then?
So Sesame Street had a big kind of, like I say, it helped me read, helped me have,
Help me
which
count
is really
as well.
Help me count.
help me count.
Help me count.
And I used to count exactly like that. So it'd be
One.
like, how many apples are there? One. Two. And we used to do that in security as well. We're like, how many people you got on the gate? One. Two. Yeah, all stuff like that. But also like the show itself, it sets you up kind of like it's quite jovial, it's quite jolly. It's not like the other shows, like it doesn't hit you in the face. It's just kind of nice pedestrian pace. It was a really young kids show. It was kind of like the post Muppets era. So you got to watch kind of like these things happen. And it, like I say, it was an educational show, but it was weirdly fun. Like Kermit the Frog was in it, Oscar the Grouch. I mean, later on, post my generation, you had Elmo comes into it. And all the kids remember tickling Elmo and the Tickle Me Elmo
Cookie
toy.
Monster.
Cookie Monster.
Cookie.
Yep. And his cover of Limp Bizkit.
Cookie the drug addict.
You should make
all about the cookie.
I found it really like because you mentioned about Kermit. I found like someone messaged me the most random fact the other day that I never crossed my mind. The person that voices Yoda
Is the same one that does
Frank
Kermit.
Oz.
Yeah,
no,
Frank Oz.
it does Miss Piggy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did never, and then you listen to it and you're like, oh shit, yeah.
moments of-
But like
yeah.
I've never even crossed my mind until someone messaged me the other day. I was like,
Doesn't he do Fozzie as
He
well?
does do Fozzie as well, yeah.
Fuzzy bear.
Fart shows.
I mean, my all-time favourite is also Pigs in Space. But it led to all those sort of things. Like, and you had these silly little skits in between, cutesy little characters. But the theme tune was just like, it was really happy and jolly and kiddie. And it was innocent. Like, in an age where you've got a man with a sword who can't hit anyone in the face, this didn't need to hit anyone in the face because it was like, you just along for the ride. It was like a nice show. You know, Oscar the Grouch, it was your dad. You know, Big Bird, who was kind of like this weirdly kind of friendly character that you felt that if you met him on the street, you'd probably tell him to bugger off.
Walk the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But all the other characters in it as well, like you'd have kind of weird puppets that you would never see again, just do a little skit and stuff. It was just really cutesy, really lovely. It was such a great show for me. And
that's
the
what
theme
Sesame Street was skits, right?
yeah, it was literally like the first. It was kind of like they weren't even comedy really as such. They were just kind of
Educational.
Yeah,
Yeah.
morals and this is right, this is wrong, this is big, this is little. One of these things is not like the other. All of these sorts of things. They were so good at kind of explaining to kids. You don't really have anything like that these days. Like,
Did they have like celebrities on it?
It did.
show up
It
as well,
started to. 'Cause
Yeah.
Then it started to get to like I think they got to the point where like Michelle Obama was on it.
Yeah,
and, like,
one of my all-time kings of rock and roll was on it. You know, Dave Grohl was there. He was on it as well.
Was he really?
Yeah, Dave Grohl was on it. Obviously, towards the end and recently, it's still going now. Like, which is really bizarre. I don't think I can watch it now in the same way that I used to watch it back then. But yeah, because you had the Muppet Show. And the Muppet Show would then have people come on and do what they were famous for. Like if they were an actors, they'd do a big serious acting bit, which the Muppets would then ruin. This did a similar sort of thing, but it brought people in. Oh, here's Dave. He's a drummer. And then he'd bang on the drums. And what you realise is the drums is like the bins. And Oscar the Grouch would come out of the bin. And the little things like that. And like... It helped everyone kind of with friendships and build relationships as well, because you saw like the characters really timid. Oh, I don't know. And then the girl, what's up with you? Oh, well, this. And then there'd be a big kind of friendship. And that kind of set you up for later on in life and meeting people at school and stuff.
Teaches you lessons in life. I mean, Dunk's going to hate me for saying this, but me and my mate Dunk, who listens to you, very big fan, we used to be called Bert and Ernie at school. So,
Hey, Bert.
yeah, we used to do that all the time. But hey, Bert. So,
The Family Guy skits are the best ever.
That's where me and Dunk got a bit weird. We were like, oh,
I find it difficult because like the girls have just got into Rubber Ducky, and so we're in the car, it's like, and they're going, Siri, play Rubber Ducky. So Siri's playing Rubber Ducky, and then in my head I've got those skits from Family Guy. Where it's like, oh, he's in the bath.
But do you remember the number 12 song? The
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That was Sesame Street, right?
Yeah.
Because I always remember, because it was always on at lunchtime, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it was like, was it an hour and a half or an hour? It just seemed like forever.
I think it's 45. I think it was
an hour and a half.
It was 15 minutes.
10 minutes. 15 minutes. It just seemed forever.
It was on for about 40 minutes, I think.
But all I knew was you had about 2 hours or 3 hours of utter shit TV. There was just crap on because it was all.
It was like game shows for your mum. Yeah, game shows for your mum. It was rubbish.
Doctors.
Yeah. And then you had the things. I don't know.
Bringing up Doctors. You've done that last season as well.
Sons and Daughters.
Murder, She Wrote.
Is in there.
It's
in there.
Diagnosis Murder.
But it was all the other stuff as well, because like when you were really, really young, like your TV was limited at that stage in our lives, where like you got BBC One. Here's your kind of bit before the news comes on. Now I'm going to move over to ITV so I can watch this bit in between everything. There's just one like snippet of a cartoon. Then I'll go to BBC Two because I know there's going to be something on. And I don't remember if your schools ever did this, but they would put on a show that was BBC Education.
Yeah.
And you'd go into it and you'd have a read-along book at school or a story and you follow it. Or Wordy, who used to come up on the screen. And this is the letter J. We make the J like this. And he was a pencil. And here are words beginning with J. And then Sesame Street would just come on and it'd be, this is actually much more entertaining than Wordy, the pencil thing.
Showing you how to draw a letter.
That's it, yeah. And it was always brought to you by, today we're sponsored by the letter W and the number 7. You'd be like, okay, good for you. But I really enjoyed it. Like as a kid, it made a big impression, and that tune just stays in your head. Like if you just sat in it, the kind of songs that you're thinking about nothing. It's just that's the one that's in the back of my head, just singing away there.
It's like the song you have in your head when you're thinking of something.
Yeah.
Instead of the Magic Roundabout, you've got Sesame Street.
I've got Sesame Street going. Yeah, it's like na 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 na. Mine's na 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 na. That's it.
Nice, mate.
There we go. Number 3.
Over to Chris Heisenbyrne for
number
your
4.
Number 3.
Is it number 3? Yeah, I'm sorry, it is number 3. So this we are going back to 91. Or 92, sorry.
I was going to say, 91 was the last one.
92, and it ran for 8 years to 2000. And it's just been rebooted.
Ooh.
And it was a must-watch on a Saturday night. If you didn't watch it and you went into school the next day...
I was going to put this in my top 5 as well. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it was on I think it was ITV, was it?
ITV.
It was ITV, and it's Gladiators.
Ah, yes.
This was my number 5, and I took it out.
This bit when the drums in.
I love this. It's the lyrics. Do you feel the power?
Yeah, it's great.
Because the new reboot, they kept it, and I was like, right, you've already kind of...
Mate, the reboot's great.
Yeah, you got me.
It's the bit as well where they're turning, like they turn 3/4 into the camera, so you have them all doing the
the muscle,
tensing the muscles.
Tensing the muscles.
Jet doing
injecting the roids. Yeah, all good.
Oh, Jet's there!
Yeah.
Jet! Oh, shit!
I was more a Lightning fan.
Oh no, my Jet was...
Jet
was another level.
Was it Jet? Or was it Kelly Kapowski?
Yeah.
And who was it? The Pink Power Ranger, the Triforce.
Oh, Amy J. Johnson.
Yeah. Every boy's crush. I don't care what anyone says. That was every boy's crush.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Gladiators.
Gladiators was it was advertised, and you were just like, "What the hell is this?" It was like it's a knockout, but just times
literally on steroids.
Yeah,
like,
on steroids.
on steroids.
And like obviously, it was one of these. It was a family event, so it'd be like it was about 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it was like well after tea. You know, you sit down as a family and you sit there and you watch Gladiators. And then pretty much everybody come in. Oh, did you see Gladiators? Or did you see Wolf kicking off?
Everyone would talk about it at school the next after the weekend.
Yeah, everybody. There was no FUPA with like, oh, you watch Gladiator. It was one of those things that everybody loved Gladiators.
It was a universal show, wasn't it? It was that.
And it was one of those things that they say you couldn't do at home. But you really could.
Sofa cushions up.
Sofa cushions
up. Some of the duel you could do. I don't know about Hang Tough or the one with they don't do this in the new show.
Well, the curtains don't hold.
Yeah, but like the one where they're in the big metal balls and they have to run.
Yeah, I remember.
The big hamster ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, like or running up the stairs in duvets for the travelators.
Yeah, no, also, mate, all the way.
Like it's classic. Like, yeah, no, it was just so much fun of like how much I enjoyed the show as a kid, and then...
But that song got you pumped for the episode, doesn't it?
If you were upstairs in the toilet, because you only had the toilet upstairs, like you heard it.
I'm going to try to
run it down. And
I am so ready for this.
So ready.
You look for the little bars. You'd look for the little bars, wouldn't you? Down the right-hand side or left-hand side of the TV, there'd be the little bars for your video. So that we'd come up on the TV, there'd be like a little barcodey thing, and that would tell you that the advert is due, and you'd be watching for it.
That's right.
Advert's due, and I'm off.
Go.
But then, was it John Anderson and his contenders?
Ready.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you hear ready,
that's the first thing that goes in your head.
All you think of.
Whenever you count down, I'm just like 3,
2, 1. All of a sudden you go Scottish.
Yeah, always do
Every
it.
time. Do it with the girls at football. And it's weird. Because when you're kind of setting them up, like, we're going to start in a minute. Gladiators, ready. And then you look at the opposition. Components, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! And everyone's looking at you going, who are you?
The great thing about Gladiators was, like, I don't know if it was just you, but me, instantly chose your guy.
Yeah.
Or you go, like, they come out, you go, don't like you, right, supported you.
Yeah.
You never changed. You didn't care what they did.
No.
It's like, you picked your person.
But did you always, like, when the game was announced, you were like, please be my
So many good ones.
Yeah, or, like, oh, don't be a shit game,
Yeah.
Shadow again.
Shadow and Duel Warrior. God, here we go.
But I liked, was it Skytrack?
Yeah.
Skytrack was cool.
That was cool, that one, yeah.
Skeletrix one, and then Powerball just fucked him up.
I'm glad they kept Power, but the one where they had the sort of gladiator with the tennis balls. They try and go behind the targets was well fun.
Nerf gun thing. Yeah,
it's like tennis balls just
Nerf
firing
gun
full
before it was a
power.
Nerf gun, yeah.
What is it? What's the one where they run through? Is it
Gauntlet?
Like Gauntlet now is soft.
It's too easy.
Everybody gets through.
But
everyone's having a laugh.
Because one of the gladiators, I can't remember. I remember a story about it. I think it was like Panther or even Jet got knocked out and actually did their neck injury from one of those things.
Wasn't that
That pyramid.
That was Pyramid. Yeah, that's how Jet.
But I know one of them as well got injured doing that gauntlet. Like they got hit so hard, or the opponent hit so hard.
If you got thrown from the top of the pyramid, you go all the way down.
Like with Gauntlet, because I've watched. The thing I love about Gladiators is like my youngest is just turned 9 and my oldest is 17. And we sit down exactly as I used to do when I was that age, watching Gladiators, and they love it. They've all got their favourites. And I was just like, this is great. But looking at Gauntlet now, for some reason, they seem to get a massive run up, which they never used to get.
No, it used to be
and also the long sticks seem to be a lot shorter. Because I remember in the original one, you'd be lucky if you got past everyone.
Yeah, Warrior, and then there was just like Rhino, and then there was just like.
They
did not have a chance. Even the girls,
brick walls in front of you.
But but now they just run past and they just somehow like, oh crap, we gone, and they always get 10 points, whatever it is.
Yeah,
and it's just because I used to be like to Lex, I'd be like, oh, this is a good one. This Gauntlet's great, and then she goes, I was like, oh, okay. Well, it used to be great.
Because I think it must have been at least a good 6-7 years of watching it, like every season. Everything.
Yeah, you had Yuka Johnson and
John Fashion.
Oh,
mate, yeah, so good.
That was the drinking game, wasn't
So
it?
while watching the new one, it was the only time that I've managed to watch because they got through.
Yeah.
You never clocked that as a kid. You never.
No, you didn't know it was quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. You just thought it was the same. Just a new
people every week.
New gladiators, new competition.
Do you think the gladiators injecting themselves before the adverts came back on?
I think they just pumped it.
Like
like
feel the burn.
I mean, there's a documentary on Netflix about the American one.
American ones,
and that sounded. I haven't watched it.
Sounds it was horrible for what they did.
Yeah.
They just kind of cashed him out. They gave him nothing. No
They
benefits.
didn't have any safety equipment, did they? For the first couple of games, they didn't have any headgear or anything. So they went out and bought children's kind of crash helmet.
If you didn't go out, you didn't get paid.
Yeah. And it was all that sort of thing. And then they got people from all over America to come and do this thing. And they want the bigger the better. And it was failed kind of athletes from football and basketball and stuff like that they put into this thing. And they all wrecked themselves just trying to be the best. It's unbelievable. The American one, it was vicious. That was how I got into Gladiators, was through the American one. Because it used to be on at some ridiculous hour of the night. So I used to not stay up, but I used to record it and then watch it the following morning. And then when it came to the UK, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so great."
Because they kind of did an invasion.
They did an
sort
invasion.
Of thing.
That's
how
Australian one as well.
I didn't know it was an American one first.
No, I didn't either.
You just think it's our one.
And the Americans were like pea heads, they massive bodies and these tiny little heads on top of it as they come into it.
Yeah.
But no, that was Gladiator was great.
Who was your favourite of the original, man and female?
Obviously Jet, and I liked Saracen. And
he's the guy that opened Blockbusters.
Was it?
He's also that same year though. He did the Crawley Christmas lights.
They did, yeah.
But also because it was a kid, I loved Wolf.
Yeah,
Wolf was
the one you love to hate.
When you knew Wolf was involved,
So
I didn't hate him
because I don't like who's the new guy who's trying
Vipers,
to Viper. He's on two.
It's the other one who's good. Is it Legend?
He's
a bit more.
He's arrogant.
The arrogance and the swag on him.
Right. He's probably my favourite.
He's good. I do like the way that they've kind of.
They've kept it the same.
They've kept, and I thought
because they brought it back a little while ago, didn't they? And it was
that's what some people try and change stuff too much. Like they kept the theme tune. And
they brought it back 10, 15 years ago when it was silver and it was all water you'd fall into. I can't remember what it was, but it didn't work.
But that turns out to be more like was it Wipeout?
Wipeout.
Yeah.
Or that Ninja Warrior.
Ninja.
I'm surprised they haven't brought a Gladiators
Ninja
the Eliminator, do that as a thing in London. You can just go and do.
Because I don't know if you remember.
That'd be well fun.
I used to live in Torquay. You had the sort of down on the seafront. You had the bucket and spade shops and the crab fishing, but all through the 90s it was just massive inflatable jewel things. So you just.
Oh, 90s and beach.
Oh,
beach jewel
my
parties.
sister just honestly just.
I used to live
gladiators. Just
I remember in the original Gladiators they used to have flashes of them going out to somewhere the Caribbean or something to train. Where they're just on the beach being like, oh yeah, we're training. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, you are having a holiday. Don't
pretty much.
Whatever.
One of the guys that we used to work with trained with and at Panthers gym, and the gym was called Panthers. And he trained to be a bodybuilder with her husband and that there. And he really enjoyed it. He keeps in contact with them now as well. I'm just getting programs from her husband and stuff. But I don't think he's bodybuilding anymore. James Brace. Yeah. He used to train with Panther and all that. He used to hang around.
Nice.
Yeah, that was quite cool. But those the people in that show were just immense, like specimens
But I'm
you hadn't seen
surprised
before.
how big the British version was. There were
Oh, yeah,
toys, there were sticker
Yeah.
albums,
Yeah,
there was,
and
yeah, I
everything,
remember,
wasn't
yeah.
there?
They
It
even
was-
brought out kids' toys of Jewel and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, because it was like the wrestling figures,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
like
right.
the ring and stuff. It was one of those things I always wanted to do it, but I never had any interest in sort of going to watch it. Even
no.
now, to this day, I think the magic of having to sit there for like 6
in
hours
between each game.
Yeah,
While
where
they-
it's all
while
set
they
up and
build
everything.
it.
But
Yeah.
I think it's back to what you were saying about the event of
The
it as
event
well.
of it.
It's just like when the new episode of Simpsons for me was out, and that's what Gladiators was. I mean, not that I said I watched Gladiators, but yeah, it was like the time you were with your family and like you were looking
Because
forward to
I'm
something.
kind of hoping
almost
this one
like
goes on for a few more years, and then my boy, I could get to the
Yeah.
point where we could go, come on, we'll sit
Gonna
down.
rewatch the whole lot.
Oh, a whole lot.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it was that time, wasn't it? You like started on one channel and you would hop between the two, depending what was on. You know,
when the adverts are on.
yeah, so you'd move over to the other channel because you wanted to watch. Yeah,
Noel's House Party.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, we got guns right back to Gladiators. Nice.
Gotcha.
Anything else on Gladiators?
No, it was just a great watch, enjoyable, and it was one of those ones that came into my head when I said to you about, are we going
Can we do the main
main
live
action?
action? Yeah.
Because I know it's not classed as a kid, but
It
for-
was, though.
It
Yeah,
was,
you were as a
it
kid.
was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
massively marketed
For
to
kids.
me, like as a
Yeah.
kid, you know. So
100%.
yeah,
Nice, mate. Then let's go to the number twos.
Number 2.
Back to you, Stu, for the
Thank you
number
much.
two.
Right, this one I'm quite excited about because I'm flipping between these two on 1 and 2 for a long time. But this, just for the guitar in the theme tune, again gets stuck in my head so much. I just listen. I'm just like all the time. So this is, I don't know if you guys will know this one because it was only out a couple of seasons. This is King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
I do know
Yes.
this. Yes.
It beat Visionaries.
Yeah, no, because listen to the theme. Trust me.
Let's do it then.
it's good.
And then, from the field of the future, a new king will come to save the world of the past.
It's so 80s.
Yeah. And this was out in the 90s.
Was it really?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Exposition again.
Yeah, of course. It's like guitar riff, man. There's like a even guitar solo in the theme. I don't want to play it for that long, but wait. Yeah, guitar the crap out of it. Yeah.
So this is number two because of guitar solo.
Yeah. And you'll find out why number 1 is as well. So yeah, so King Arthur and the Knights of Justice is like a cartoon. I think it was on for 2 seasons. It basically is the story of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table have been captured by what's the female called?
Morgan
that we
Le
played?
Fay.
Yeah, Morgan. And Viper is basically attacking Camelot, and Merlin's power is starting to fade. So he goes to the future to find Arthur King and his American football team, who are the Knights.
Yes, I do remember this. Yes,
Who
I
are
do
the
now.
Knights,
Now
and
it
brings
rings a
them
bell.
back in time to replace Arthur and the Knights.
Why is this not a movie?
I know, right?
It's just like the best plot line ever.
I think it was.
It brings them back in time to try and save the original King Arthur and the Knights. By doing so, they have to go and find the keys of each knight, which is like the sort of story. So they find the keys around different parts of and then I think it got like 2 seasons in. They found 8 of the 12 keys, and then it got cancelled.
Oh,
I know, right? Never found them all.
The story.
Yeah, no, exactly. Never get to finish it. But obviously the theme is amazing, but the look of the characters, they sort of did it in quite a modern way where they had magical. So like you got the symbols of all the weapons on the chest, and they would come out. So like Excalibur would come out of his chest.
Oh, so cool.
And then you've got like his shield was a dragon. The dragon would come out as like a flying that you could just ride on. And they had loads of vehicles and stuff that were sort of old like chariots and stuff, but would still fire stuff and blow them up. And the toys were really fun to like with the spring loaded action of just firing crap at each other. Yeah, it was just such cool. And it would say you had like Morgana and like Viper and his like evil knights, and they were really cool as well. Such a cool show, and they're just that guitar in that. It's just so cool. It's just like
cool.
it's just a it's just that all the effing time. that pops in my head. I'm just sitting there working or I'm doing something, I'll just be like, it's like the easiest one for me to pick on this list because it's just such a cool show and such a cool theme.
Nice, mate.
I think they're on again. I think
Is
they're
it
all
on YouTube?
I think they're on YouTube. At least the first couple of episodes, and the first episode is really cool.
Was it just the 12 or the? Is that how many episodes?
I don't know. I think
seasons
there's
worth,
two.
wasn't
I think there's 20 something episodes.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
But they never ended it.
yeah, but they never finished it. Same with like quite a lot of shows. Yeah, it was meant to be to find the key. I think at one episode he goes to her castle and he finds the original Arthur and talks to him, and he's like, "No, you need to go and find these keys to save us or something." And the was it Guinevere and stuff like weirdly don't realize that they're not the original King Arthur. I mean, so it must be look exactly the same as him as well. Don't realize that these knights are just talking about American football and like playing American football in the castle, and they're like, they're very strange since they came back from that quest. And it's like, yes, because they're not the same people.
Really big shoulder pads.
But you even have like the characters pretty much like Lancelot's in there as well, and it's like sort of
Gawain.
yeah, all of those. Like, and it's just but some of them are like really like the big jock ones that are usually like the sort of defense in American footballs are just literally he'll be like, play 47, they just light up and just start charging them, and then all the knights, all the evil knights are like, what the hell is this? Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it was a great show, very worth watching.
Nice, mate. Let's go to Mario's then for number 2, sir.
No, my number 2 was it was a show that was on Saturdays, and it was the first time I'd ever seen a show like it, and the theme tune was reminiscent of the film that had come before it. And it's Batman the Animated Series.
I was very surprised.
I remember hearing a Kevin Smith podcast about the themes, because the same guy that did the theme for this did the theme to the Superman one and the Justice League and Wonder Woman.
Well, it's all part of the same thing, universe.
Yeah, they were.
So.
And what he did was his kind of inspiration wasn't necessarily like the theme from Batman the film. It was like, does it sound like you're singing Batman? Like, Batman is coming. You know, it was all that sort of stuff. And he did the same for the others. Like, how does Superman say? Okay, Superman. And this was that. And this was the one where you heard this. And like you were saying about all the other shows that you would run into. This is the one that I'd run into, come and see, because it was on Saturday mornings, and they did it in like 2 sections on Live and Kicking.
What's Up Duck? What's Up Duck? Yeah, because you had like Live and Kicking, had X-Men and Spider-Man. You flipped to Batman.
That's it.
So had you seen the movie before the animated series?
I had seen that, as John would say, a hooky copy of the film before it came out.
So you knew the theme straight away?
I knew the theme straight away. And so when they said they were going to put on this Batman show, I was ready for it, like straight off the bat. And of course, I wanted it to be like the film. I wanted it to be, like Tim Burton's kind of first Batman foray. And it pretty much was. Like, it was really dark, the first episode being Clayface that you'd never really kind of been introduced to. Then you got Man Bat and all these characters that are in the comics.
Harley Quinn was created on this as well.
Harley Quinn is purely from this, and Poison Ivy, like the character they create for her. The Mad Hatter in this as well, like he's a background character, and they bring in like loads and
I mean,
loads
they
of
do the origin of Two-Face and like a two-parter as well, which is really dark.
Yeah, but what's the Mr. Freeze film?
So Sub-Zero, but the Heart of Ice episode.
Heart of Ice, that's the one. Yeah.
Is the episode his origin is from this show. He originally was.
It was just Mr. Freeze, wasn't it?
But his origin of like Nora and the experiment was all this show. Like Paul Dini made all that.
Like just the Dini verse as well is just phenomenal. Like everything.
Every episode that's like in my top 10 I could do with that show.
I thought that was an Arnie origin.
Paul Paul Dini like wrote most of them. Like the Laughing Fish is my favourite episode on that, so with the Joker fish. That is my favourite episode on that show.
The entire show. My favourite was the Harley Quinn Christmas episode.
Yeah,
where she's kind of trying to find a present for the Joker, and every time she goes to do something nice, it just backfires on her. That one was really cool, and the book that came from that, which I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called now, but it was a Harley Quinn centric book about her telling her story of how she met the Joker.
So Mad Love.
That's it, Mad Love.
Yeah. That was the last ever episode of the show.
It's such a good episode.
Yeah,
it's such a good book as well. In fact, it was so good that I bought the book when we went to the Secret Stash in America and gave it to Sam to read. And said, "That's your book."
Nice.
And it was the first comic she'd actually read. And after that, she was like, "Oh, what should I read next?" And then she started reading like the Walking Dead series, and she got so far with that, and then was like, "This is just too intense." And then she read 300. So it from this show, it led into like.
I love if she read that Harley book. It was like, "What do you want me to read next, Mr. M?"
Fulfilling his
That'd be
fantasy.
so good.
I mean, this show is like when I read comic books, it's Kevin Conroy's voice.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
Mark
He's my
Hamill's,
Batman.
It's
He's my
Mark
Batman
Hamill's
and
voice.
Joker, yeah.
It's Mark Hamill's voice, and I didn't know because we were watching as a kid. I didn't realize who Mark Hamill was until I was like, oh, he's Luke Skywalker. What?
But he's not recognisable.
No.
Like his Joker is like.
He's insane. The amount they got away with on that show with how scary the Joker is, is quite. And it was. I've read all the documentaries on this show, but like the fact it was drawn on black paper. Yeah, all that kind of stuff was just fascinating, and it still holds up today as like the best.
But that would explain how dark and dingy it is at the time as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was. I mean, there's a few mistakes. I've got the Blu-ray box set, and there's a few that with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini like commentating over it. A few of the times they're like, because some of the times they had to get different companies to draw it, and they were like, well, they didn't follow the model in this episode. What the hell's happened to the Joker's face and stuff like that? It was quite funny, but yeah, so you say like Clayface and Man-Bat are like two of my favourite villains because of that show.
Yeah, because they didn't have any really kind of substance to them before that, and like Mr. Freeze in this, he's given something more than just like because in the '69 TV show, he's just kind of a clown really who sits in he is Arnie's character.
Yeah.
Like he sits there.
Mr. Freeze, he
just makes.
The Scarecrow used to scare me in this series. Like his image of that is quite
it's the first
freaky.
Time the first time you come across him with the sack kind of hat and kind of like these really extended gangly features that make.
You got the one where he infects Batman and he gets put in the insane asylum in Arkham, and he starts seeing all these visions from Batman's viewpoint. It's so cool, and like Ra's al Ghul,
and
Talia and stuff. That was a really cool episode. Bringing doing Robin's origin in it as well was really cool. And then they did the new adventures later on where he turns into Nightwing, and you bring Tim in,
and he refuses to come back because Bruce did something.
You get the whole flashback of why they broke up and stuff. It was, and they say then it follows on to
Teen Titans. They have their own Titans thing, don't they? It's not called Teen Titans.
But even like Batman in the Future, like Batman Beyond,
with Terry Ellis,
and that. The movie, The Return of the Joker, is still one of the most haunting things when you see the flashback of what they do to Tim Drake.
But the theme from this carries on all the way through all of them. Whenever Batman's kind of in the scene, that's what's playing kind of behind him the whole way. So Batman's.
I think Kevin Conroy was the first one that did the different voice as well.
Yeah, he does. Because he explains that as well in one of the Kevin Smith podcasts. He mentions like he wanted to do something for Batman that was dark and down and in his boots and gritty and kind of, and then he was like, but. He wouldn't be that for
Bruce Wayne
because he's up among friends and people.
Yeah.
So he lifts his voice up a couple of octaves and just kind of brings it lighter.
I think he was the first one to realise that Batman is the real him and Bruce Wayne's the act as well.
Yeah, because
he says that in something as well.
I say this quite often. There's one of the books where Batman gets taken by the Scarecrow, and in his mind, like the Scarecrow's trying to get into his head and stuff. So the Scarecrow keeps going, "Come on, Bruce, come out of this, Bruce." And then like Bruce punches the version of whoever's in front. I think it's Alfred or something. And they go, "Well, how did you know it wasn't him?" He's just because in my head I don't call myself.
Yeah,
Bruce.
they literally quote that from in Batman of the Future. There's an episode where they try and make old Bruce think he's mad, and then at the end, Terry's like, "Well, how did you know it wasn't you?" And he goes, "Because that's not what I call myself."
Yeah,
he's like, "You kept calling me Bruce, and that's not what I call myself." And he's like, "Really? Well, that's my name now." And I was like, "Yeah, great, cool." So that was it's such an awesome, iconic show that I watch quite regularly, and like me, Ross, and Rob talk about it all the time. If you ever watch our YouTube channel, you'll see in the background I've got so much Batman animated stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There is an insane amount of Batman animated series memorabilia in my man cave.
And he still has the Batmobile.
The 89 Hot Toy.
The 89 one.
89 Hot Toy.
But he eventually sells it. First dibs.
I put in my will that Ad will get it.
Hey! I've been begging. Since that box came,
you
I've
came
been
around my
at you
house.
for years.
You came around my house to open it. Yeah.
So the first thing we should have done an unboxing of it or something. I've still got the picture of me hugging it.
Amazing. But yeah, that's my number 2 is Batman the animated series.
Nice.
Good shout.
Let's go to Chris's number 2. Is it number 2, Heisenbyrne?
Number 2. Well, this like yourself, this could easily have been number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2. I think I just went for this one because it was just a little bit of a slower ease into it. So this one ran from 1985. We had 75 episodes, and it is Mask.
Oh,
nice. I do love
such a great show.
Yeah. this is the one that I just always pump out of my van.
It is one of those songs you can actually just put on,
cruising. Is this Ant's favourite bit here?
I'm not gonna lie, this was my number one.
Yeah.
I used to love this, man.
This for me, like that. It just like the merchandise. Like,
Man, I've got so many of
yeah.
these in the loft. It's crazy.
I always wanted them. I was never allowed them because they had little pieces.
Oh no! But like the best one I had was the helicopter into plane.
Yeah.
Helicopter.
Oh,
That was the bad guy's
Miles
name, wasn't
Mayhem.
it? Yeah,
So-
his mate.
yeah. And I also had his F1 car
Yep,
that
yeah.
split up into a plane.
Yeah,
And,
the drone and the two. Yeah.
Was it Venom?
Venom.
Yeah, Venom was the bad
Everyone's
guys.
called Venom.
Yeah.
As a bad guy.
It's always Cobra, Venom,
Yeah,
it's all
something.
snakes,
Like,
all
but
snakes,
it's all
mate.
snakes.
Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
This had, like I said, when they hit it right with a decent fucking intro. The music was good. It showed you everything that I wanted to buy, like the car with the gull wing doors, which you just wanted to fly.
Even Boulder Hill, the petrol station that turns into like a
base.
Yeah.
Because they did with anything, because they did the original cars with the big truck and everything.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then they did the F1 movie, which is what after you put this as number one, I found on YouTube. I watched there was like 3-part movie of this F1 race thing.
Was
Got
there?
different races all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's got that Miles Mayhem race car, and it's got who's the main guy? Max,
yeah.
Tracker.
Yeah, Max Tracker, yeah, and he's like
Tracker.
yellow and blue, yellow and blue race car.
So
And it's
yeah,
just
you've got the Jeep that opens up and it fires out the little, is it a jet
The
ski
big-
or
Yeah, jet boat,
or
yeah,
jet
yeah.
Big
boat?
fuck off 18-wheeler with the rocket launcher
Yeah,
inside.
yeah,
and
Rhino,
everything.
isn't it, or
See,
something?
like for this, like the merchandise was great because with Transformers you had like cars, but
Yeah.
they were fiddly and this was a couple of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Push a
Turned
button,
into
push
a
a button,
plane.
it turns
It
something.
literally, it literally
turned into a
spring
plane
loaded.
and then it turned straight into a car and they worked as both, you know, and obviously had little firing missiles and
It was the motorbike, the green motorbike turned into a helicopter.
Helicopter.
And the only thing to do-
Yeah.
the only thing you had to do with the toy was lift the back up, and the skids would come down from
And
the
that's
front
it, yeah.
somewhere.
you used to push the button on the
Yes,
helicopter.
That's it.
Oh,
I
I remember doing that for my Ecto 2. Do you remember Ecto 2?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one was just one of those ones that was just like
It's
just
such a catchy
that
song.
scene where they're like the knights are around and they're sitting down
Yeah.
and the helmets
Helmets
come
come
Oh,
down.
they come down on their head, yeah, and the light
And they
comes
power,
down,
because
powers them up,
every
yeah.
mask's got different power.
Different
and stuff.
power,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
it's
Powers
yeah.
them all up, yeah.
Yeah, and I said when Ant put his number one, I was like, I don't really remember the stories. I like read up on it. I didn't realize that Miles Mayhem and Max Tracker originally built Mask, and then Miles leaves to build Venom because he doesn't, and then they start fighting.
That's right.
No, I
It
knew
does kind of
he had
stuff.
it, but I was like, I'm just lying.
Lying to myself.
I'm really like, if it's
Yeah.
not on there, I'm just not putting it on for the sake
Same
of
with
it.
me
and it's
with
kind of like,
Batman. I could have easy, but I was like, no, we'll just find something. Yeah, but yeah.
I just love
Like
the whole
X-Men
the
and stuff.
catchiness of the lore lyrics, and
Yeah.
then when the chorus kicks and you got the robotic voice as well as the guy who's
Yeah.
singing in the background
The
as well.
thing
It
with
blends really well.
normally the annoying like helper to the child is normally pretty annoying if you know
Yeah.
you've got snarf
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like, like but the little robot
Yeah.
I kind of
It
found
turns into a little
The
scooter,
little
doesn't
scooter
it?
thing.
he
yeah,
was
yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
he was pretty cool. He wasn't like the annoying kid out of Transformers as well, or you know
Buzz or no, it wasn't Buzz, was it? I can't remember the
Spike.
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 Spike D2.
Spike and Spark Plug.
Spike, and then later on he becomes like he gets the robot suit, doesn't he? Or his son gets the robot
Yeah.
suit.
So this just had
that's
everything
that
of
in the
like
movie.
everything that I needed for the
movie.
merchandise, the animation worked, and it just hit me. It
great
grabbed
act-
me.
great
It's the
action as
last
well.
shot of that intro where you've got the helicopter shooting
And they all-
the bike,
Yep.
and it's side to side, and next minute he just lifts and goes straight to the camera, and there's the logo right there, and it goes with the song as well. Oh,
This is something that needs a live action
100%.
film,
It
like-
just, it well, it
Or
needs
just
a
bring
reboot.
the merch
and
back.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
No,
another
but like,
cartoon.
even a TV
I don't want
show.
this. I don't want this.
tainted.
Yeah, it needs to be done right. We can't just have The Rock being fucking Tracker.
Jason Statham.
Statham as Stiggy, you know.
And
like-
as a Michael Bay film, like,
I mean, yeah, you have to get all the modern cars and build them with loads of
Yep.
rockets.
It
and
would
stuff.
never work with Rock because you've got to cover his face. He's got to put the mask
That's
on.
it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, like the ones that
Carl
I'm
Urban
crying
will do
for, but like the
Carl
ones,
Urban will do it.
the ones that have come out,
Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
the ones that have come out they've just not grabbed me. Like Transformers doesn't do it for me. Apart from Prime, I think he nails it. But like compared to the cartoons of like the magic between the film,
I prefer an animated show over a live action show.
You can get away with so much more.
Yeah.
But also, like in live film, live shows, films, whatever, there's too much kind of explaining the science of it all. In Mask, you take it on any cartoon, you take it at face value. Yes, they're robots that came from another planet and turn into cars. Mask, they have special helmets which have special abilities and vehicles that transform into other fighting vehicles.
You're stopping a secret group.
Done.
Good guys, bad guys.
There is no exposition here at all. There is no kind of like, well, the science behind this is, there is something back in time that gave them. No, it just straight in there to this is what happens. There is no. The law is of the show is they do this thing to stop this thing from happening, and that's it. Nothing else. No history. No kind of origin story. Is kind of straight in there with.
It's kind of like a 80's Thunderbirds, if you will.
Yeah.
Think about it.
You never get Thunderbirds doesn't start with, well, I've got an idea. Should we just band together, brothers, build an island? And no, it goes straight into we help people. We are,
go there, stop that, like you said.
International rescue. We go around, and it's the same with these shows. It's like we have to stop this guy from doing something really terrible, and the show would open with the bad guys setting up something terrible, and then the good guys turn up.
That's it.
Absolutely. The creators knew what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of like they were like, right, we need to hit this point, this point, this point, and then just color it.
It's one of those shows where I wonder, because a lot of the time the toys are made and then the show's made around it. I kind of feel with Mask it might be the other way around, but I don't know.
I don't know what it was.
I'd have to Google it because it kind of feels like they did the show. They might have done the show first and gone, right, we can make some kick-ass toys out of this.
I'm not buying toys without the cartoon.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah.
You never did
Well,
that.
they knew it was going to happen at the same time, because like a lot of the other time it's like we'll build all these toys and like crap, we need to market it. Let's make a TV show around it.
Yeah.
Where like this was the cars were identical to the cartoon. So it's like it wasn't like it's like He-Man was slightly different. And stuff like that. This was like identical.
Well, in He-Man you had and Ghostbusters. There were just hundreds of characters which weren't anything to do with him.
Did you ever get the toy and go, look, there's mine?
Let's see.
All the time.
All the time.
Max Strecker's.
He still does. He still has it.
Mate, all the time. I still have.
It'd be like I said. When I used to go around, you used to judge people, and you used to go around to like a new kids. Yeah, it would be judged on like what toys he has. It's like, has he got Mask? Has he got Batman?
Well, you go around to see him just to play with that toy. He's like, I don't have it. You do.
Thunder tank.
You're like,
he's got the Thunder tank.
Yeah,
and then
he's got Castle Grayskull.
And then it's like that scene from
if your mum was friends with the mum, you're like, oh shit, no, he's got the Thunder tank, or he's got like, fuck it, no, it's good.
Yeah, like, and then you do the scene from Step Brothers. Like, did we just become best friends?
Yes, we did. Let me play with your toys.
Even better. We got them when we're 40.
I literally used to do that to a guy, I'm not friends with him anymore, but when he had all the Starcom stuff.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
I used to go around his house and be like, right, let's get the Starcom stuff out. And he's like, I want to play this. I'm like, no, play with Starcom.
This is what I'm playing with.
That's what we're playing with. I don't have it at home, I will play it here.
Starcom ones with that
you always
magnets.
used to go... If you went round to your mates, you go, we'll play with that. And then like when they come round to yours, they're like, oh, we'll play. It was always... You wanted to play with the stuff that you...
You never had the same.
Yeah, one friend that had all the Thundercat stuff, and we only had like Lion-O and Tigra, and then we go around and he'd come around to ours, and we had like He-Man stuff coming out of our ears, sort of thing, Castle Grayskull and all that stuff, and the old Star Wars Kenner stuff, which I'm sure there's a garden somewhere in Pound Hill that's got all of my Kenner stuff.
Dug in the garden.
Pretty much where I was setting up Endor, and there's fighting. Nice. And Mum's gone, it's dinner time. Okay, I'm coming in. Have you brought your toys in? Yes.
And then you lost them.
You lost most of them in that garden. I found like in my mum's house, I've got the Darth Vader carry case head. That is annihilated. That thing, like, it's been pulled to pieces. Like, it's ruined. But like, yeah, you're right. You go around your mate's house and you play with all their stuff, and then you come back to yours and be like, oh, this is quite boring. And then they come over and be like, let's play with this.
Okay. They're well excited to see your toys, but you're just excited to see their toys, and it's just
you almost feel like apologising to me. I'm really sorry I don't have any Mask. I'm sorry.
No, because at the same time, that you want your mates to play with your toys as well, because you don't want your mates to turn up and go, fuck me, he's got shit toys.
I was an only child. I had all the toys. I'm quite lucky that my prior to my dad.
Guy, man.
Prior to my dad into a lot of stuff. He's like, we go to Woolworths. He's like, you can have one. I'm like, I want these 4, and he's like, fine, have all 4. I, was like,
I feel my girls do that now.
I picture you like Cartman. They're like, I want the Yellow Ranger.
no, mate.
You went with Dad.
All the Power Rangers, all the Thundercats, all the Transformers.
You went with Dad. I just went. Oh, Nan wants to do some. Nan wants to do some errands. I'll come with you, Nan. And it's like, just pop into Woolworths. Always to pop into Woolworths.
Woolworths, yeah.
At least the toy and not pick a mix.
That's it.
It's true, yeah. I never did pick a mix in there. I was always the toy guy. For
That was our mum would keep us busy when she went in there. I've just got to get something from Woolworths. You stay here, next to the sweets. Okay.
Woolworths was just always looking at the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
$59.99 for Mortal Kombat.
That was like 200 quid back then.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else on Mask?
No, just if you get a chance and you've not seen it, definitely check it out.
Definitely on YouTube.
Not the Jim Carrey animation one.
I had to make sure. I had to make sure.
Yeah.
Or the Cher film.
Oh,
Because that changed it in a complete different direction. That would just leave you crying for hours.
Nice. Then let's bring it home with the number ones.
It's number 1.
Back to Stu then.
Number
for
one
the
turn.
number ones.
Okay, so this show probably is my greatest theme tune of all time. And it's one of those shows, again, I think it had over 100 episodes. It needs to come back. Someone needs to remake this as a new animated show because it's so good. Such a cool story. And it is Galaxy Rangers.
Oh, yes.
Let me just say, before I play this, you've been waiting for me to play this for years. So
You have to play the whole thing.
I'm going to have to play
And
the
we'll
whole
talk
thing
over
now.
it. It's fine.
Let's do it.
Exposition.
In 2086, 2 peaceful aliens journeyed to Earth, seeking our help.
And the
In
guitar as
return,
well.
they gave us the plans for our first hyperdrive, allowing mankind to open the doors to the stars.
Seeing robot horses.
We have assembled a team of unique individuals to protect Earth and our allies. Courageous pioneers committed to the highest ideals of justice and dedicated to preserving law and order across the new frontier. These are the adventures of the Galaxy Rangers.
Now the cool theme tune. Oh, yeah. No guts, no glory. Yeah.
No guts, no glory.
No guts, no glory.
Nice.
There we go.
And all their powers came from their badges, didn't it?
Yes.
I remember this.
Four cowboys. Basically, the Galaxy Rangers are like a police squad. There's basically this evil. I think it's called the Queen of the Crown.
Yep.
And she has all these robots, and she basically controls the universe. Then these 4 Rangers get special implants called Series 5 implants, which are activated by their badges. Each one has its own power, depending on what the person is. Beautiful. So you had Zachary Fox. it's just such a cool. I just love this show so much.
It's so good.
You have Zachary Fox, who is the leader. So his wife gets taken by the Queen and gets basically she puts their memories into a crystal, and then she just takes that crystal and they try and get it back. So he loses I think it's his daughter or son and his wife. And then during an accident, half of his body basically gets blown off. So half of him is a cyborg. So when he pushes his badge, his arm turns into a massive cannon. Just blows the crap out of him. You've got Shane Gooseman, who's basically Clint Eastwood in blonde. Yep. And he is a super trooper. And basically the super troopers were a genetically made group of individuals. All bar him go insane. And his power is basically to adapt to his environment. So if he's like drowning, he pushes it, he gets gills. He's getting attacked by fire, he can turn to metal, heals himself, whatever it is, pushes the badge, does it. I think they can only push that badge a certain amount of times before it runs out of power, and they have to get it recharged. You've got Nico, who has like psychic powers. Again, this like amplifies that. And then Doc, who's like this sort of genius and who has these 2 little balls of light, which are like AIs that he controls as well. They just go out on missions trying to stop the Queen, and there's like pirates they have to stop. There's a really cool episode I used to have on VHS where it's Goose is taking a criminal from one prison to go to like a court hearing or something. He has to go through a galaxy, and his whole gang of pirates attacks him, and he has to go to this planet and try and survive. Really cool episode. They take his badge off him so he doesn't have that anymore. They got robot horses, which is so cool in itself.
Did they ever finish it?
There's 130 episodes. I don't think I made it all the way through. But there is. I don't think he never got his wife back. I don't think.
I don't remember them being that many episodes.
I think there was 100. There's 2 seasons of them because Ross downloaded them for me.
They're all on Plex.
Yeah, on Plex. And I was watching. I don't think they're there anymore, but I was watching. And I was just like, Oh man, it's so good. It's just such a cool concept for a show, which again has never been remade, and it's just.
I used to get this mixed up with Brave Star.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting in my head going, what is that? What is it? That's what I thought it was. I've been sitting here in my head going, what is it? What is it? You just said it, Brave Star. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, Brave Star was another cool one as well. It was like one cowboy and his horse.
That's right.
That would take
But he
out
had a robot horse as well.
Yeah, he had a robot horse. Yeah,
that was what I was thinking.
Yeah, 66, I think it was called.
Yeah, 30 was it?
Yeah, me 33 was come. Yeah, but this one was just four guys. Again, it would have episodes with like them individually or them as a team going to try and take down the Queen or save people across the galaxy. And yeah, just a very cool show. And like that theme tune, I think there's on YouTube there's like a 3-minute version where it has the characters actually playing in a band. I think it's Nico's playing the drums, like these
Very
crazy
Gem and the
space drums.
Holograms.
Yeah. Just a 3-minute version of this song that they're just playing because they knew how cool that song was. And yeah, just the exposition of everything you need to know about the show at the beginning, and then just the visuals on the theme where they're sort of standing in these star-based sort of teleporters basically when they're getting charged up and just showing them each of their powers is just such a cool show, man. I had all the figures. I don't think they ever made Nico, but they made.
As I say, was there any toys?
Yeah.
Or anything like that?
I had Gooseman, Zachary, and Doc as the figures. They're quite big figures as well. And they had like you squeeze their legs and their arm. You could hold onto that gun
Like the
holster.
Action Man size, is it?
A little bit smaller than that. But it's like Thundercat size maybe.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, still got them somewhere. But it's like 3 of them, and Goose would have both his guns. Obviously, because he has 2 guns, because he's the coolest.
Yeah.
It's like looks like didn't have the normal. Everyone else had the normal uniform. He had slightly different uniform.
Wield.
Yeah, normal uniform with like the sort of cowboy, neckerchief and stuff. And it was just such a cool. And again, they went really deep with the lore on that as well because it could have been just simply 4 people have badges, but they just had to have each one has his own background and own history, and they dive in.
That they did that, eh?
Yeah, they dive into all the history of each character through the show.
Because there were 2 that came out at the same time, wasn't there? There was Galaxy Rangers and Silverhawks, I believe.
I love Silverhawks.
Silverhawks was the run-on from. It was supposed to be in the same universe as Thundercats. That's right.
Same people. Yeah.
And Silverhawks was supposed to be Galaxy Rangers.
Yes.
But Galaxy Rangers just.
I remember Silverhawks being quite dark.
Yeah,
the bad guy was really dark.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then you get Galaxy Rangers, and it starts kind of not light, but like kiddie actiony, and then it kind of slowly evolves through it. I think it grows with the audience.
It does,
It gets older, and the content gets older as it grows with the audience. It didn't stay at one level.
Do you remember the first episode for Silverhawks when the boss, the bad guy, breaks out of jail and he gets the light and he bashes through? It always reminds me of Doomsday.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes,
and he's like at the beginning just punching through until he gets out. It always reminded me. Well, obviously not then because it wasn't out. But when I read the book, I was like, "That's Silverhawks right there."
Yeah, I mean, that theme tune is great as well. With the old like cowboy guy with his guitar, like with his ship. I don't know. I used to definitely had all the figures of Silverhawks because I remember there's a VHS my mum used to show me at Christmas. I literally opened up and like had all of them. But it never grabbed me as much as Thundercats did.
No.
But it was I think they missed a beat with the
It was
story.
meant to be like
It was
they were actually
it
out
was
in
just
space, weren't they?
Exactly.
It was the add-on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was they were coming. They weren't necessarily looking for them. They were supposed to be like the Galaxy Rangers. They were supposed to be the police that
the police of the universe.
But and then kind of Thundercats kind of was its own thing. But I way prefer.
They couldn't make it as popular as Thundercats in that way.
No, Thundercats is a great story.
So are you happy now? It's finally
I'm
played.
so happy, man. That's
so much weight is off the chest
theme.
now. It's done.
It's my morning alarm. No, sorry.
I could die
every day. Got to wait till the end of it every morning.
Yeah. It's like wake up. Nope. Wait the whole thing.
Anything else on?
No, just again, if you haven't heard of it, go check it out. It's a great show, and if any, I don't even know who owns the license to it, but someone needs to remake that show. Or a game, or a board game.
Like a live-action TV series.
Mate, it'd be so
cool.
good. You can make such cool. It's so easy to do it. It'd be so cool to do.
But they do it like in like sort of Westworld sort of style.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like that.
So good, right?
It could go even darker.
Come on, right?
Yeah, so much
100%. That'd be so good. It would be amazing because it's got the lore there already to build on, and you just make it look cool.
And they can finally end it as well if they didn't.
Yeah, very true.
Nice, good pick, sir. Over to Mario then. What's the number 1, sir?
So this one featured in my Game Boy episode.
Ooh.
And it is DuckTales.
Nice. Yeah, let's have it.
This is what I took off for Gladiators.
Yeah, nice.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's like a
hurricane here in Duckburg.
Great.
Such. It's
It's a duck blur.
Might solve a mystery.
So good.
Or rewrite history.
Everyone's there.
DuckTales, woo.
Yeah, like
Every day they're out there making DuckTales, woo.
great.
Tales of daring
It was
and daring.
the
I
show
can't
that
go
I
on
wanted
too
to
long
watch.
because the mouse will get us.
It was so I watched this when I was much younger. It used to be on the Saturday morning Disney Club. That's it. Which was Fern Cotton, if I remember correctly, was actually
it?
hosting it. Yeah, way back when. And this was like the show that I used to watch on there. There was a couple of Disney ones, like it's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Rescue
Yeah,
Rangers, that was cool.
What else was on there at the time? There was quite a few that Disney were chucking out. Like,
Tailspin on there by now?
Tailspin, yeah, Tailspin came after.
But,
Rescue
that was a
Rangers,
follow-on
yeah.
from this, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then you had a couple of others. There was another one that was I can't remember the name of it now, but it was basically his nephew was a robot duck, and you had the
Darkwing.
Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo Duck.
He was in DuckTales.
He's in
I remember
DuckTales,
that.
isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's in DuckTales. Yeah.
And there was another one as well that went on from that, Darkwing Duck, and you also had
That had a cool intro.
Mate, that's on the very close to the top 5.
Was it?
Darkwing Duck. Yeah, mate,
Wow.
it was so good.
But this was the one. This was the DuckTales because it took Scrooge McDuck, which you'd only ever seen in that Christmas Carol they'd done.
That's right. Yep.
It took him into a completely different dimension, as well as like Huey, Dewey, Louie. Having them come into the show. Donald being the black sheep of the family, essentially. Like
Yeah.
he was basically just
Put aside.
Every now and again, he comes into the episode, and Scrooge's like, "Oh, that crappy nephew, of mine, that's just rubbish." And then you got Mrs. Quackley,
He was the guy. He was the pilot from Tailspin.
I was about to say that.
Oh, that was
He was in it.
Oh, something
Launchpad.
Launchpad
Launchpad, yeah. He was in it
Launchpad
as well.
McQuack. Yeah.
Going in for a crash landing, sir.
It's just, you just need to keep it in the air, and then we won't crash. Okay, but we're running out of fuel.
Because I don't remember many episodes. It was him going on adventures to find stuff, right? He was like an archaeologist.
He used to
type
have,
thing.
it was that, or he had to keep his fortune from
being stolen.
from Thingy Pete, who kept trying to say take all his money away. Or there was a rival, and I can't remember, Hamish or something.
Yes,
and he was
Scottish.
Hamish,
Scottish
he
duck.
hates him, doesn't he?
he was a rival millionaire thing.
Was he another duck?
He was,
was,
yeah,
yeah.
with a kilt on, yeah.
Yeah.
And he would every episode he'd dive into the money.
That was.
and-
I'd always want. I know. In real life, that would really hurt. But I was like, as a kid, I was like, I'd love to have that much money to be able to dive into.
That's how you feel on
It's just
payday.
So if it was like notes,
payday.
it would be nice. But like pound coins would just hurt.
But
a
it was
lot.
like someone said to me like, what would you do with like £1 million? It's like I'll turn it into 1p pieces and put it in a room.
Yeah, Job's
And they'd be like,
diving
why?
it.
Because then I could proper Scrooge McDuck it.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Like you could have a room filled with it, and it'd just be my swimming pool of pennies.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's gonna be so painful.
But the song is just so catchy,
Yeah,
so
100%.
bouncy,
brilliant.
so happy.
Just the
It's
build up
just-
at the beginning.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That beat, and then it
it's
has
when the chorus kicks.
Yeah, it has a little
That's
bit
when
of
you got-
exposition, but it really doesn't really have a lot.
No, it doesn't.
You know, it just has a little bit of this is what the show's kind of about, and not every episode was about that. And then the movie came out as
the
well.
movie's one of my
The movie-
favourites.
Yeah, I sat down with the girls to watch that the other day, and they actually sat through it, so that was a good thing.
It's the genie one, isn't it?
The Genie one, yeah. And that was just it's the whole show itself, and Disney at that time. It was kind of like the peak of them grasping at ideas, and this one really stuck. And
Yeah.
that tune just.
I mean,
definitely stuck.
they've remade it as well.
Yeah,
like,
they remade
a few years ago.
Yeah,
The animation's not as great.
Disney at the minute are going through when they do animation like. But where it used to be hand drawn, because if you watch any of the old episodes or even the movie, you can see it's hand drawn on sheets and
you can see him coming out.
yeah, and they I think for these they didn't use the old acetate that they were using for other things. They actually used pen and paper, and it's really cool in the effects and the outlines and stuff.
Was that the Lost Treasures?
It was the Lost Treasures, where they're after Collie Barbar's treasure.
Baba, yeah.
But that Alibaba, Collie Barbar.
But literally, that whole scene with the plane where he's
Yeah.
coming down is like one of the funniest
Yeah.
landings.
Yeah.
It's just because it goes full Indiana Jones as well.
It
doesn't
does,
It does, yeah.
The whole thing, and the kids, and then the genie comes in, and they try and make out that he's a mate of theirs from school. And,
Ice cream.
hey, that mister, yeah, I'm great, yeah, fad, cool, groovy. Okay, that's not overcompensating. But it's such a good film. It's such a great show, great bounce, great everything Disney needed to be at that time, and I think it was. And the theme tune, yet again, it just bounces along. It's not heavy, it's not aggressive, but that show wasn't heavy or aggressive.
No,
It
but
was just
it has that hook.
Yeah,
it
it's
does.
exactly that.
Just instantly.
It's the DuckTales. Woo! That's that bit. It's just it's so cool.
Because if someone comes up to you in the street and says, "Oh, do you remember DuckTales?" The first thing that comes in your head is that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
coming up to this episode, like I think I listened to this about 20 to 30 times, followed by Chip and Dale. And I couldn't work out which one I was putting on, and I just had so much fun just listening to.
You get those like
repeats.
top 20 80s theme tunes. I mean, you just go through all them and you're just like, oh yeah, yes, awesome, yeah, yeah.
Because Gummy Bears would have also been there as well. Gummy Bears would have been there.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
I remember taking it out of my top 5. That was definitely
There was. I mean, I'll wait for Chris to say his number one first before, but there's so many good ones I was tempted to put in.
Yeah.
But this was the Disney one for me. This was the one that I really enjoyed. And every time, like I remember them Radio 1, they played it on there just as like they were playing it to someone.
they?
Yeah, they played it as a song, like a joke to someone. Oh, this is the number one, and they played
The game
this.
was good
And I was
as
just
well.
sat there going, it's great. It was.
Yeah,
I love the
well.
game, yeah.
The Game Boy game was just as good as all the. Yeah, it was so good. It was a port of the NES game.
It was carbon copy, really, wasn't it?
But just, so great. And the music in the game is the same as the music on the
And this
show.
thing, because for the game, sometimes they change it, but they kept it in there
They
because
kept it in
people
there.
knew they needed
That's
the thing for it.
That is the tune. So yeah, they kept it all the way through. So yeah, that's it. My number one, DuckTales.
That's a great choice.
Good choice.
Good choice. So then, last but not least, Heisenbyrne.
So
Pressure.
Pressure.
It's been mentioned a fair few times tonight.
That's what happens when Stu rolls an 18.
The reason I like this one, this is the one where I needed to be in the lounge for a certain point of the intro, and the injuries of getting down for this. And I didn't realize it, but there was 130 episodes. Started in 1985, and it is Thundercats.
Oh, yes.
Good choice.
So just oh shit.
Yeah.
They're on the loose.
Gotta get in there loud.
Yeah.
But it's this bit when it slows down and then kicks back in.
It's a long theme, isn't it? It's
But
it's like
even
coming
this, like I could just see her like running now.
Yeah, it shows them all of their powers.
Yeah. Each of their weapons as well.
Thunder Tank comes
Thunder
in.
Tank was like one of my favourite.
It's up there with the Batmobile for me, man. So good.
But I remember like the animation for the intro was just so
just
Well, this
way beyond what the
like,
episodes were.
It was a company from, I think it was a Japanese company, but it's like it was the first sort of anime show I'd ever. It's got some anime
Style,
things to it.
yeah,
It's like-
absolutely.
And like, it wasn't just the intro was great; all the episodes were great as well.
Yeah.
They never really reused anything, bar him sword extending.
Just Mumra. So you had that and the Mumra whenever
Mumra
he comes
and
out of his
Thunder
grave.
Thunder.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, those were the only bits they ever kind of
But
redone.
that bit in the intro where it starts teetering off and then
Yeah.
Mum Ra comes out and it's just like, and then it just starts. All right, fuck it, we gotta go again, go. And it's just the actual full guitars, everything about it. Like the Sword of Omens is hands down my favorite toy of all time as a kid.
I think it's one of the greatest swords up there with
It's a great
He-Man's.
sword, but like
Ever.
as a, I don't think I've ever gone as nuts.
Do you remember when you pressed the button?
the one where it lights up.
It just went
I
red.
found
Yeah.
lit up.
In my head, it went into the sky.
Yeah.
Sight beyond sight.
Oh,
Yeah, you had the cat claw thing. as
the
well.
cat claw,
It's
but
great.
the handle had. It was like really.
It's a beautiful sword, anyway. Yeah.
And yeah, so this one was one of these. It was one of the first things I sort of downloaded. You know, in Napster.
Yeah.
You know, it took you 4 hours or 4 days. You're like, okay, I just want Thundercats
Yeah.
as an intro. Give
That's
me
it.
it as a ringtone. Give it to me as a.
Sitting there with your Sony, just trying to type in the numbers so you can get. Okay, that's
Yeah.
beep,
It was
beep.
one of those things where I had like the first 3 episodes, like the pilot episode, and then
Yeah.
I had like the one with the ghost Thundercat.
Yeah.
The evil guy.
Was it
Jog, yeah,
No,
Jog-
Jarga, but yeah, there was like an evil guy.
Oh yes.
And him and Jarga fight above the Cat
Yes.
Slayer.
Yes.
That one.
That's the movie, isn't it? Is that
No,
the
it's
Legend
not-
of Jarga or something?
No. It's like it's just an episode. It's the. Oh,
It's the first episode, Genesis.
Is it Genesis?
Yeah, it's the first one, isn't it?
No. The Genesis is when they leave Thundera.
And that's how Jarga ends up dying.
And
Yeah, so
Jarga
he
dies
dies,
from old
yes,
age.
you're right.
He dies from old age.
Yeah,
from flying
because the rest of them are in suspension
stasis,
capsules.
isn't
He does an Obi-Wan and just...
does it.
like-
Yeah.
Just
disintegrates.
but there's an episode, I can't remember, it's like 8 or 9 in, where it's what's the ghost of the hell's his name?
It's not. It's
He
not.
used to be working with Jarga, then he turned evil.
He's
And
like
they-
he is
and
a
they-
lion, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's like a saber tooth. He's got one saber tooth, and he got banished. and he landed on Third Earth. And then these
he's at the gladiator time.
Yeah, these little guys.
Yeah,
these little guys like let him out, and he's actually a ghost. And the Thundercats are trying to stop him. And then Lion-O's like, "We'll fight a ghost with another ghost, Jaga." And then they had they're giant ghosts above the cat slayer just fighting. And then he gives him the Sword of Omens because it used to be a Jagas.
Right.
And it's just I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It's such a cool moment of them. And then Lion-O's like, "Take my strength," and just like take the sword, take the strength from him.
Thundercats have been cast perfectly. I mean, was it the guy from Green Mile before he died could have been Panther back in the day.
Dude, my script I wrote, and my cast was perfect for that at the time.
McConaughey
it won't be now. Though.
But again,
Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. All right.
But there was like a who was is it Chitara, not Chitara,
Tigra was
Tigra.
But he had this like hovercraft with a
Yeah. So that was the movie when they brought the extra ones in. Yeah. The extra vehicles in.
And the extra characters.
The toys were good.
The toys were great.
The rolling.
Have you seen the new ones they brought out?
No.
Super 7 have brought a full scale Thunder
seen
Tank that
this.
actually fits them all inside. And they've done the Cat Slayer, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
They showed it at Comic-Con last year. It is this massive thing, and the figures are like this big, and they all fit inside it. I'm just like, oh god, I would love that, but I have no space for it. But that,
want and need.
Yeah, but the show is
as a show that it is like literally one of my favorites.
Oh yeah,
like,
I knew I was hoping someone else was going to put it in because
like my favorites have always been this, Mask, Turtles, and Transformers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of gutted I did get to put Turtles on. But
no one did. I'm quite surprised by that.
Turtles is my favorite as well. I was trying to go for out of the.
But you're talking about the actual song.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, but Thundercats, I absolutely
just all the lore they put behind it. They did
everything about it. You know, like just years of playing with these toys and. I'm 40 years old.
Have you read that? Like some of the
comics are really good.
Crossover with He-Man.
I've not read any of it.
That comic
it's kind
book
of stuff that I would love to.
It's so cool. Like He-Man versus.
You let me borrow that. That was a
Thundercats.
Yeah,
is like crazy and it was so good. And I quite like the reboot they did in 2011.
Yeah, the anime-esque.
They never finished it though, did they?
No, because it got cancelled because everyone didn't like it. But I really enjoyed that because they took the concept and made him like a bit deeper with the lore. And actually made Lino young. And I loved it. I thought that was a really cool show.
But that was the other thing in the original show. Lion-O was technically still mentally young.
Yeah, he was mentally,
but actually there's a stasis, wasn't
it? Because there was a crack or something in the pod or whatever. Because when he comes out of the pod, he's fully grown and he's broken his suit and stuff.
You don't clock that as a kid, though.
No.
Well, you don't clock they're all naked to begin with as well.
No,
that's it. Yeah.
Like Chitara's full on naked in the first 10 minutes of that show, and you don't realise it as a kid.
Yeah, because Jaga gives him clothes.
Yeah. You need to be protected on Third Earth because that Third Earth is actually Earth as well, which is crazy. Because you've got an episode where Mumrug turns into King Arthur and gets Excalibur out, the Lady of the Lake, and Excalibur and the Sword of Omens are fighting, and it's absolutely insane. It was like because you can't have them fighting; they both go up in the sky, and the swords are just fighting each other. And Excalibur stabs the Eye of Thundera, and it's like,
oh wow,
what the hell? It's like such a cool concept, man.
We always had it as a Mum Ra, like, how bad was your day today at work? You're like,
it's Mum Ra bad.
I had a Mum Ra day when you just like,
I mean, he was scary as a kid as well.
He was terrifying.
All the villains,
100%.
he was.
Even his like pyramid itself was quite
but like,
chilling
the
as
bit
well.
where he comes out, it's just
the crypt into the water.
But it's the statues either side of the room as well, quite chilling.
Spirits of evil.
Give me transform, Mr. Transform to Heisenbyrne.
Because his toy, you used to push his button in it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
But do you remember?
Wasn't there a thing you put the back and the eyes
would light up?
The Lion-O thing. It looked like a cigarette lighter.
It attached to your finger, didn't it?
Yeah, and you put it into the back of Lion-O's eyes would light up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mondo have just brought out 1/6 scale versions of Lion-O, and it looks amazing.
And the
don't say that, mate.
the Tigra figure as well. So you used to have the little bolos that he had.
Yeah,
and you had a button.
He used to be my favourite character.
He used to have flick the button in his hands. We just go up and down.
Yeah, because he could flip the bow around and turn invisible.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Charles, you have the speed, and Panthro was just strong.
Yes,
Panthro was just and
Panthro was the gadget guy as well. Panthro was the mechanic.
Yeah, he built it. But like they all had their own theme tune as well. Like I remember, I think it's. Is it Tiger's one? That theme tune, like they all had their own cool theme tunes. Yeah, and Panthros was just like meaty. It was
they were all kind of if you were like, oh, it's a Chitara episode today, you're not going. Oh,
No, they were all great.
It's just Snarf episode.
Snarf.
Oh yeah, no,
Snarf
Snarf
is a little bit.
and the burbles.
But Wiley
thing.
Kit and Wiley Cat, I
They're
didn't
cool.
I didn't have too much issue with them. They were quite.
But it was also the villains were really good as well.
They were great.
Yes,
Was it
yes.
Slither?
There's no Snarf.
Snarf.
Good one.
Monkey and Jackman and Slide.
Slide.
Who was
Yeah.
it?
Jackman.
Was it the
Jackalman,
Hammerhead
yeah.
Pirates?
Yes, that was the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. When they brought the other.
He's got the big
the other
robotic
characters.
hat.
the white
doesn't
and
he?
blue tiger.
That's it,
And the
yeah.
blind guy.
Because
Yeah.
Hatchie Man was that the movie
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah,
'Cause
Hatchie
that
Man was in it.
that was one of those videos that I bought
Yes,
from
I got
the shop. It cost me 70 quid on VHS.
Shut
70
up.
quid on
70 quid.
VHS.
I like
7-0.
7-0.
But it wasn't even
Fucking
that long of a film, was
No,
it?
it was like it was three
and
episodes
we are
joined
talking.
together.
This is where
It's about an hour
DVDs
or
and my
something.
mates are like, "Why are you pending? No one buys videos anymore." I was like, "Yeah, but
With this
Such a loser.
Thundercats.
you cannot get it.
Thundercats.
You cannot get it
Yeah.
anymore."
Yeah, because I think they even got to the bit where they brought back Thundera
Yes.
and like they go back and stuff. It was so cool with the storyline and stuff. There's also one where there's like a time capsule, and Lion-O sort of looks it because he can't remember what Thundera even was,
No.
and he gets like transported back and meets his father, and there's this really emotional bit of his father's blind,
Oh wow.
and he
'Cause
talks to him and
It's
stuff.
a bit
like-
Superman, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
planet's broken, send them off.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, it's like fun. I think in the comic books they changed the origin story that it's actually Jaga's fault because he throws
The
the sword of
sword.
plunder into a volcano and it makes Thundera explode.
Yeah.
So he
Rick and
feels
Morty.
guilt for that, which is really cool.
But going back to what you were saying about doing an episode about end credit ones,
Yes.
I always felt the end credits for this were
Yes,
better
was way
than the
better.
first.
No
But they
vocals
didn't-
because it just went.
Yeah.
But it's the guitar again. It's going
Yeah.
back to what
Which is
Stuart
the-
had for his one. It's the guitar bit is so good.
Great
and
thing
it's
about
fun.
most of the theme tunes that I've done, like I've seen many rock bands, and sometimes they will give
Yeah.
you just a little. And you're like, oh,
It's from, I remember.
yeah, you know, like you just play,
Have you-
just warm it up.
is
or-
it punk? I think it's Punk Rock Factory or something.
Yeah,
They just,
Punk Rock Factory,
They
they
usually
do-
do covers of all
Disney
the
and
songs.
everything, yeah,
They've
yeah.
done Thundercats and it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Thundercats is just like
then
t-shirts.
this is it.
Love it.
And then wait for it. Sorry, guys. Go on.
Yeah, no, literally just says
It
it all there.
gives me chills, man. It's
I
so
know.
good.
It's
It's so
It's
good.
just like-
Such a
so
great-
it's just one of those songs like I still listen to.
Yeah,
It just
100%.
Yeah,
randomly,
100%.
you know. I don't put it as a ringtone because I don't want to. I don't want to ruin it.
You
if
don't want
know
to ruin
what-
Mask.
Yeah. No, it's just it's just something I always.
He's one of those tunes that you just instantly know what it is. Like within the first two notes.
Yep. It starts up.
Nice. Some good picks. I don't think anyone clashed.
No.
No. We would have done if I did mine.
Oh,
But I'll go into mine quickly if you don't want to go back and watch the episode. But please go back and watch it because there's other people with me that did it. So my number 5 was Nightmare,
yeah.
live action show. X-Men was number 4.
Yes.
Yep.
Games Master Season 3 was number 3. That goes into my 90s Anthony Techno days. Jason the World Warrior is number 2.
Yep.
And obviously Mask was number 1.
Mask.
So any honourable mentions? Chris, you
I've
apparently
got
you had shit.
so
to-
many,
Oh,
mate.
yeah, I had.
I've only got one, Galaxy Quest.
Oh,
No,
brilliant.
Galaxy High. Galaxy
Galaxy
High.
High.
Galaxy High. Good one. Nice.
I got Button Moon,
But
Wow.
Danger Mouse,
Danger Mouse.
Danger
good one.
Mouse, definitely.
Duckula,
Yes.
Oh, Kentucky.
and we
Yeah.
mentioned them earlier, Raggy Dolls.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Dolls
did
like-
actually put that on there.
Dolls
Poddington,
like you and
Poddington
me.
Peas was
Poddington
the one.
Peas, I got on there as well.
nice.
Batman 69, because it was the whole...
66.
Batman
Yeah.
66.
66,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
69, dude.
and Rainbow.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
I see you remember it.
I was going to chuck Pigeon Street in there as well, but I'm not going to.
Nice.
Loads of kids' TV themes.
I had Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I
nice.
had Saved by the Bell.
Yep.
I
course, that's Saved by the
had Thomas the Tank original.
Of
OG.
course. Yeah.
Power Rangers Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Nice, yep.
The Crystal Maze.
Yeah.
And the Real Ghostbusters.
Nice. So I had I've got shit load. Again, these are all like cartoons pretty much. So the one I was going to put on, which I don't think anyone would have heard of, but it has a really cool theme tune, is like Spiral Zone, which is like this random
That
video.
was, yeah.
Random video I used to have, which is like basically this Commander Courage and his like gang of troops trying to fight this evil guy on Earth. Dark Water. It was like there was this guy who's
Pirates of Dark Water.
Yeah, Pirates of Dark Water.
Yeah.
We had to get these sort of gems.
I remember that. Noichi Tat.
Yeah, exactly. Darkwing Duck, we already mentioned.
Darkwing Duck.
Bill and Ted Adventures.
Yes.
Adventures.
I remember that.
That was great.
Saturday morning TV.
Skeleton Warriors.
No.
It sounds
Skeleton Warriors.
Yes. I
Yeah,
know.
okay. So Saved by the Bell, Sharky and George, Captain Planet.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Hero.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Spectre Gadget, you said. Danger Mouse, you said. I was going to put New Adventures of Lois and Clark, because as a kid, I used to watch that on Channel 2 all the time.
That was, I remember that.
Which I used to love. Superman, Turtles, Thundercats, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
Of course,
Back in the day. DuckTales, SWAT Cats.
I remember
that? And Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars, yes.
Which apparently Ryan Reynolds is trying to bring back. Which
I
all
heard
over
that, but whether it's true or not. So I think we'll leave it there then, guys. I think no one else has got any more honourable mentions? No?
No, just thanks for having me as always.
No,
It's been great.
Again, thank you for being on the show and finally getting you back for this episode.
I know, in a while.
Long overdue, mate, but please come back again if you can.
Always, mate. Just let me know.
So obviously we'll finish it there, guys. So if you like what you listen to, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B Podcast, on TikTok M.T.V Podcast 197, or Instagram at M.T.V.B Podcast. And of course, here on YouTube, give us a like, a share, a subscribe. It goes a long, long way for us. And please leave a comment below if we didn't mention any of your kids' TV shows or TV live action shows. Please, just get back to us. We'd love to hear from you all. So this is from Antman,
Stu,
Super Mario,
and Chris.
and we're signing off, guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.